is it not? Hold on. Why is it not showing my live? Share this tab instead here. All right, now, cool. I don't know why my Wi-Fi isn't connecting on my phone at least, but whatever. We're here. We're here. What's up? Let's see. Is anybody ever gonna give me a goddamn Night Star? I don't know. I guess I'll pin it, right? Let's get the likes up to 1,000. Let's get the likes up to 1,000, y'all. What's up, All American? Thank you, Brandon. Thank you. Thank you for the likes. To what up, though? I'm just chilling, waiting for our folks to get up in here. Y'all know how it go. Y'all know how it goes. Uh-oh. What are people talking about right now? A person ethnically African with a U.S. nationality. Okay. I'm English American. Elon Musk. Elon Musk is an African American. Sure, sure. Yep. Elon Musk. Yep. Someone that's absolutely African with a U.S. Citizenship. All right, that's one answer. I don't put like, but we just people, in my opinion. Elon is not an African. Yes, he is. Born in Africa, moved to America, became a citizen. Elon Musk is an African, Afrikaner. You, I already knew that was coming. It was about time. I was waiting for someone to come and gotcha label them because they'll label us. Uh, should have knew that was coming, right? It was about time someone came up. Oh, you're an African American. Just, just babbling. He is European. He's an Afrikaner, so he's an African. Yeah, it's a goddamn name. Afrikaner, African. So Elon Musk is an African. Africans don't claim you. They say you're American. True. That's true. That is true. You know, some don't. Encourage, yeah, let's get the shares up in the book. He's American with African heritage for those who's confused. Who you talking about? I wasn't born in Africa. Right. I wasn't born in Africa. Who's African with who's American with African heritage? What's up, Nikki? What's up, Nikki? You're not sure. Request up. Y'all can request up. Got a mod in the building. I think you're the only mod right now. Y'all can request up. Want to hear what got people got to say. Uh, it's kind of quiet. This law is kind of quiet right now, huh? Only 8 people, 9. I'm sure they'll start coming in soon. No, 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 you're not. Nope. Yeah, it's a Fuse Lives open. Mm. All right. Yeah, I mean, I figured everybody likes to go live around this time. What's up, Chief Wild? Ethiopian Samal. 8 p.m. Eastern time. People getting off work and shit. So, who else? Who else we got? We got Tasha. You know what's funny? I could see filtered comments. Well, at least yesterday's live I could, but the rest of the chat can't. Uh, what's up? Thank you. Thank you. Let's get the likes up. Elon cannot be African because African is not a nationality. He's an Afrikaner. Like, hello. It's in the name, Afrikaner. He is not African. Yes, he is. He was born in Africa, wasn't he? But they would come to America and say they're African. Exactly. Is that entire? Oh yeah, I was born in some made up BS. Cool, cool. Yeah. Right, they'll come to America and say they are like what? But yeah, people can request up. Come talk to me. I was born here. I call myself after that. An American that takes a DNA test and it says majority African descent. We got 23 and me disciple in here. The last donut. We got a 23 me disciple in here. I'm a 23 and me disciple. Skip Gates is my idol. The test is better than a Bible. Say you're African before I bite you. You're a wobble, you're pretending. And it is every black person in America who got an American passport. You're African, bro. Come up here. Come on, y'all can come up. You're a wobble, you're pretending.
Yo, what's going on, man?
Yeah, what's up?
Yeah, so what's the question?
What is an African American? Don't you see it?
An African American is basically a displaced African that was named by white Americans.
So it was a name someone else came up with, not the
Yeah,
people.
yeah, basically, bro. you know, white Americans, they were like, now. So everybody went with it,
So everybody went. Did everybody go with it?
Not everybody. I don't know. I can't speak for everybody. I feel like the majority don't say they.
No, they did. No, they didn't. It
Um,
wasn't a majority. That's why Jackson was sued
oh,
for
okay.
about it. Yeah,
Okay. I didn't know that. My bad.
yeah. I'd agree with that term.
Okay. 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 So, what do you consider yourself?
An American.
An American?
Yeah,
So, like, you native?
I'm not native.
Oh, so what makes you American?
I'm indigenous.
You're indigenous.
Mm-hmm.
How so?
How so? Because my ancestors are from here.
Okay. How did you tell that?
By tracing my family back.
Oh, you did a DNA test?
Now,
What did you do?
I looked up the records that were kept of the.
Oh, okay, okay. I'm just asking questions, man. You seem very defensive.
Who's defensive?
I don't know. Maybe I'm reading your tone wrong.
I'm speaking in a nonchalant tone. How is that being defensive?
I don't know.
Where are
See,
you from? Oh, Ethiopian king. My bad.
I'm
Tell me
Ethiopian.
about your people.
Well, my father's from Ethiopia. My mother's from Somalia. They came here in the 80s. I was born in Chicago, but I was raised overseas. I don't call myself an American, and I don't believe I'm American. Fuck,
Uh,
yeah.
what tribe are you?
My father was from the Oromo tribe, and my mother's from Majartan tribe.
So your dad Cushitic.
Huh?
Your dad's Cushitic.
Oromo, Oromo.
Yeah, Roma. Those are Cushitic people.
What is that?
You don't know the Cushites?
Oh yeah, Kush. Yeah, Kush. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we're Cushitic people. Yeah, all East Africa basically is Kush people, though.
No, they're not.
Yeah, we're
Not
Semitic.
all of them. Not all of them. No, they're not. Some of them came from Yemen.
Well, my mother is from the Majartan Sultanates, and Somalis that migrated to Yemen and came back.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. There's some folks. There's some folks that came from Yemen.
yeah, but I still consider myself African. That's all we know. You know,
That's,
we don't know about our Yemeni ancestors from my mother's side, so
oh yeah. Were they a part of were they part of the Axumites at one point?
what's that?
The Axumites.
No, no,
The,
no, I don't think
the,
so.
the, the predecessors of the Abesha.
No, we're from Mogadishu. My mother's from
Uh-huh.
Mogadishu, so yeah, they migrated up north. They're most of them are in Bosaso right now, but my father's from southern Ethiopia, the Bali region. You know where Bali is?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're from the Bali region.
Okay.
Yeah,
What's up, Nikki?
in Africa, you are what your father is. You don't go by your mother.
Are you sure?
Yeah, if you're
Why don't the Eritreans go by that?
no, that's generally most of Africa. I can't speak for all of them, but most of Africa, you
How
if
about
you
the what
if you're
about the Ashanti and the Ashanti?
you're from your father's place. That's generally what most Africans believe. If your
Most of
father,
it now, in
yeah,
modern sense, yes.
if a man has a son, the son carries on his father's name. Now, if he has a daughter, she marries and she carries now the husband's name. So that's how it is in Africa.
Ah, interesting.
Yeah.
Start. All right. Let's see what type of it.
Well, there are some
Boom.
tribes that don't do that, like some tribes in, like he said, in Ghana, that I know of. So, if you don't, do you know your mother's side?
Yeah. Like we can count. No, we see they don't historically in Somalia, Ethiopia. They don't historically go by the mothers, but they memorize the fathers' names, like 10, 20 fathers. So I know I know about 10 of my grandfathers from my father's side, and if I ask my mother, I don't know all of hers, but she can recall 10 of her grandfathers as well. She can
No,
tell
I'm
me.
I'm speaking mother's side.
No, we don't know none of that.
What's up, Chris?
Okay.
Yeah.
Y'all don't keep track of y'all
I mean, I'm not
foremothers?
sexist or anything. That's how it is historically.
Mm.
And but I just hear that a lot of Africans tell us we don't know who we are, but we keep track of both sides. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
No, I
we
definitely
probably
know.
know
I
who we are.
definitely know I'm from Ethiopia. My father's side, Ethiopia was never colonized, so I can. My father can. He used to be able to count back 15, 20 fathers, and then my mother, she's able to count back at least 10 fathers. So I know I'm directly from Africa.
Can I? Okay, so you know how you asked him, how does he know who he is?
Yeah.
It's the same way you know who you are.
So how many fathers can you go back, sir?
I can go back that shit like over 20
20?
I'm 17
mothers and
on
fathers
both sides.
because we big mom over here. Like
You said 17.
Can I ask you a question? How about you?
Well, me?
Yeah.
I can go back 15 on my father's side, about 10 on my mother.
Hmm. I'm very close with the Ethiopians and
Yes?
Somalians, and they let me know that a lot of them don't have birth certificates.
Oh,
Right?
yeah, absolutely. We don't do birth certificates, They don't we don't you see, generally, like my father's from southern Ethiopia, he's Oromo. He's from the 30% of Ethiopians that were Muslim. My mother, Somalia, is 100% Muslim. You see, in the Muslim religion, we don't celebrate our birthdays.
I understand.
So since we don't
So
celebrate our
how do y'all
birthdays,
keep records?
there's really no records. They don't keep track of the age. Like right now, my mom doesn't even know her age. She came to this country and they gave her the birthday January 1st. Most Somalians, they come to this country and they get their birthday January 1st.
Hmm.
And she just generally knows around, like, maybe give or take a couple years.
Is that through verbal history? Like, is there no documents?
Just verbal, yeah, just verbal history.
So
wow.
imagine asking an American to show proof, or imagine asking an Ethiopian to show proof, knowing that their history is verbal. Don't you think that's kind of disrespectful?
I wasn't being disrespectful at all, and I don't know why you would
No,
think
no,
that.
no,
I don't know
no,
why
sir.
you would think that's disrespectful.
Oh, no, no, no. You
First of
didn't do
all,
nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with asking a question. I'm just asking you a
first
question.
of
Do you
all,
think it would be disrespectful for
first of
someone to
all,
question?
the topic was, what is an
No, hold
African
on.
American?
You have to hear me out first, because I didn't accuse you of anything, sir. And I'm not accusing you of being disrespectful, because I don't feel that you were. I would be considered disrespectful because I know their culture. I know how they have oral tradition. You get what I'm saying? But just imagine someone probably not knowing, or someone like me knowing the history of Ethiopia, and then questioning them. I want to see proof that they're Ethiopian. Do you think?
I never asked for proof. I simply
I'm
asked
not.
if they know.
You're not listening to me, sir. And this is no disrespect. I'm literally. You can hear the tone of my voice.
I'm listening very
I've already
clearly.
expressed to you that you didn't do anything wrong, right?
Yeah, I'm listening very clearly. What I was basically saying, I
I'm
asked.
not talking about what you were saying, sir.
But watch your tone with me first.
Hey, you watch your tone, nigga. What you talking about?
I
Oh
see.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, we respect all women over here.
Yeah, I
Keep
respect
that.
women too, but like
Nah, yeah,
she's
nah,
not
nah,
off of you.
nah. That's not gonna. It's not gonna go down how you thinking it is, buddy. Watch your tone.
Yeah, it's funny, man. You
Yeah,
funny, bro.
I ain't funny. You ain't hear me laughing.
You very funny, bro.
Nah. Watch your tone.
She's
You
trying to
you're the one
explain
that's getting
something to you.
defensive.
She's
I was
trying to
about to say you're.
explain something to you,
Yeah, exactly.
and you're taking it the wrong way.
I'm not taking it the wrong
You
way.
are, because what did I
You
do?
are.
Because you called me
We all
disrespectful.
just get along.
She didn't say you were disrespectful. That's the thing. Why are you taking it?
No, no, he didn't say it, but she's saying that I'm disrespectful.
She said she asked you a question.
What was the question? Go ahead.
The question is, do you think it would be disrespectful for
No.
someone to question a Ethiopian
No,
so you don't think it'd be disrespectful by
no,
question?
because
Wait, hold on. Let me finish the
because-
question. You have to let me
because-
finish the question. How, I haven't finished the question. Do you think it'd be disrespectful for someone to ask a Ethiopian to show proof, like on paper, without oral tradition?
no,
Okay.
Even for someone not, even for someone knowing that they don't have a paper trail.
no, no.
Okay, that's it.
Yeah, because
Oh shit, who? Go ahead. You on mute.
yeah, I was like saying, first of all, like for somebody to ask would assume that they are trying to attempt to understand. You know what I'm saying? So it wouldn't be disrespectful at all.
Right.
If they assume without asking, then that would be ignorant and that would be disrespectful. Now I asked the question, so there you go.
Okay, that's all I wanted to know.
Curious.
Ethiopian
Let me say- let me say this really- Let me say this really quick, please. So, he asked you. Oh, wait, you explained who you were, and everybody here took your word. You know what I'm saying? So nobody said, "How do you know?"
That,
No.
I feel like that's a valid question. You know what
What?
I'm saying?
How
No
do you
question.
know?
No
Because
question.
you know your people. I mean, like I know my mother. She knew her mother. They knew their mother, and so forth. And that's how we know. Just like oral history, like you say, your people hand down oral history. We talk to our people too, so it's the same thing. So if we're all living on,
I don't see nothing wrong with a question. I just
No,
don't see
it's-
nothing wrong with a question.
why didn't you accept his answer for what it was?
Because I had a question. I said, how does he
Well,
know?
how
I
about
feel like that was a
yeah?
legit
How about
question.
how do you know?
How do I
No.
know? Because
Yeah.
my father came here in the 1980s and they never left Africa until
1980s
he left.
until he left.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Okay.
My folks been here from time immemorial. That's how I know,
Okay.
and they never left.
And they never left. Okay.
Yeah, we don't go to other countries like y'all do,
I
or
see.
and live there.
I don't see what the argument's about though.
No, it's not
Ain't no,
arguments.
ain't no argument.
Okay.
It was just that I know that you had asked him that question, and then you asked him, could he show proof?
I didn't ask him so he should show proof. I asked him how does he know? Now, that's how I know you're trying to put words in my mouth.
I ain't trying to put words in your mouth.
You should be a better listener.
What's
I'm a good listener, sir.
Okay, well then why did you say something I didn't say?
you a little sassy, ain't you?
In his feelings.
Yeah, sassy as hell, man.
I'm just saying, I said one thing, she's saying I
So
said
the
another
feelings over
thing.
here.
Do you remember the question that you asked him?
Well,
Like
listen,
word for word?
yeah, I said. So I was like, "Where are you from? What do you feel?"
You saw me come up here, Red.
He said,
I'm gonna either be passive. I'm gonna be aggressive. With y'all, you can pick one.
He's talking about the comments. Go ahead, finish.
Yeah, I'm talking about the comments.
Exactly. That's crazy. That's exactly what he did. Passive aggressive. But anyway,
Ain't nobody being passive aggressive.
No,
I'll say what I got
talking
to
about
say.
the comments.
You identified it just like I did, brother.
You did the fact just like I did, brother. What brings you up here, Red? Where you from?
Exactly.
Born
Since
and
you
raised,
were
born and raised in Chicago, there, brother.
Born and raised in Chicago. Where your folks? Where your grandparents from?
And that plays on what?
You said where your grandparents from?
My grandparents are from the United States,
What part?
from Mississippi and Georgia.
Mississippi and Georgia. So what brings you in here? You African? You from Africa? You're an African American?
Yes, I'm an African American.
What tribe in Africa you come from?
Oh, as a African American, we descend from many tribes.
Not name one. Name one.
Wait, I said as an African American, if you don't consider yourself an
Beautiful.
Name a
Hold on,
tribe.
one second.
Accepted. You're
Wait,
accepted.
wait, 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 wait,
One
wait.
second. One second. One second. One second. One second. One second.
Slow it down.
Yeah, slow it down. I
Yeah,
asked
yeah.
for one.
So-
Name one tribe.
So hold on, two of you talked at me at once. So she
It-
said who? She said who? and I said, I'm an African American. If you're not an African American, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking
Mhm.
about us African Americans.
Yeah, and before she asked you that, I asked you what name of tribe
And I told you we're an amalgamation of many tribes.
and name
That is the
one.
very nature. Oh, we're the Yoruba, the Fulani, the Kru, the many. We're an amalgamation of many tribes
They're
because that's how they brought.
they're Arabs.
Hold on.
But
Are you guys
Hold
going
on.
to talk at once?
Hold on, one
You guys
second,
are
one
talking
second.
at once.
Let him land, Law. Let him land, y'all. Go ahead.
So yeah, we're an amalgamation of many tribes. These things can be proven. So
It-
yeah,
it pro-
so
okay,
to ask
cool.
an African American what particular tribe is a nonsensical question because
How's it nonsensical?
because
how's
we
it-
are descendants of many
Who's
tribes.
we?
Okay, cool. Hold on,
When-
one sec,
okay,
y'all.
so
Hold
once
on, y'all.
again,
One sec,
when I
one
say
second.
we, once
All
again,
that
when I say we,
nonsensical bullshit.
when I say when I
find
say
Oh
it
my God,
hilarious.
y'all gonna have to. I will clear the stage. One mic. Oh, I will clear the goddamn panel.
so once again, when I say we, I keep saying African American. If you don't consider yourself an African American, there's no need to keep asking me who the we are because you're not part of the we.
All right, cool. What do I want to ask you? What shit did your folks get off of?
That's another question that you need. Is many
You
ships.
you never heard of a slave manifest?
Yeah, there's many slave masters.
Okay, which port did they get off? Hold on, one second, sir. Hold on. What port did they get off of?
So don't ask a question.
No.
and then go ahead.
No. It's time for y'all to start proving shit.
So,
No, it's time for y'all to start proving who we all are.
so
Wait,
No,
that's-
yes,
You mad you African, bro? You mad you're descendants of African?
man. Can't no Yemen. Hold on, can't no Yemenite tell me nothing.
a
You're
Yemenite,
Arab.
a Yemenite.
Yeah.
I told you I'm
Yeah, you
Yemenite.
got them.
Yemenite.
You got them Arab.
He
Yeah,
believes
we got
in
two.
the fictional book.
We got two
He
Arabs up
believes in
here.
the book that the white T-man gave him.
No, I ain't no you. Okay, cool. Who told you from Africa? Did your family say you were from Africa, Red?
So the thing is
No.
again,
Don't slide
Don't
past that.
ask me questions.
Hey, Red.
and then try to dictate how I
What? Hey, Red. Is
You
your
keep
bro?
being asked me,
I will drop you. Hold on, since you want a booty clap
Stop
right
me,
now.
nigga.
I'll
I
drop
gives
you.
a fuck.
Like, hold on. What? I'm talking to you now. Did your family say they were from Africa?
Man, him, but
Hey, Red. Hey, Red. Answer the question, right? Answer the question, right?
Try to dictate how I answer.
I'm gonna dictate how you answer. You're on my panel. I'm on.
How I want.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna dictate how you answer.
No, I'm gonna
Right,
answer it how I want.
No, and you're gonna get off the stage. How about that? You came to my live, buddy. I ain't come to yours.
Yeah, let me make an announcement real quick. TikTok is for entertainment, educational purposes only. No hate speech, bullying, harassment, or discrimination. Can we all continue to tap the screen and get to 10K? Can y'all put fruits in the chat? And before you plan on hopping on the panel, please mute up if you're not talking. Secondly, right? Let's have a dialogue. If someone puts you on mute, that means the host is trying to talk. I don't care if you're in the middle of your sentence. It is what it is. You don't like the platform, you could leave.
Receipt goddess, are we the same age?
Why don't you mute up, Uncle, okay? Because we got to get to somebody before you.
Why are you trying? Yeah, we got new voices up here. What's up? We got Darian Pash. We got Metrics. We got Yo.
Ash,
Do you mind if I say something before we move on to the next?
Yeah, sure.
So I wanted to respond to the we are a part of many tribes from Africa. When you look into the genealogy of the people who actually have someone who came from Africa, it's usually just one person. So when he said that we are of many tribes, that's not true. And being from Africa, West Africa specifically, we know that a lot of those people are not originally from West Africa. They're from places like Asia, India, and Arabia, and other places. So you actually wouldn't be African in origin. You would be Middle Eastern or those other places in origin, right? So what tribes from those areas would you be at that point?
Oh, Pash, are you there?
Yep. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you can go ahead, Patch. What's up?
What's happening?
Not much. We brings you up here tonight.
I don't know, just listening to the conversation, just seeing what's
Okay.
going on.
Cool. All right.
Y'all see the slave ship I posted up here?
Let me see.
So people question if that was black people, but I can show you the up close pictures too. And you can see that it's black people.
What year is this?
This was I know this was in the 1800s, but they captured the ship, right? But it was East Africa. It was East Africa. And the British captured that ship because the British outlawed bringing slaves over in 1803.
Okay, so where's the close-up picture?
Yeah, show us that.
Let's see. Here's another part of the ship right here, and this is a wooden ship that everybody was questioning, but you can see how, everybody was questioning this wooden ship.
That look like two
Hey,
different pictures.
hold on, y'all.
that look like two
My
different
bad.
pictures.
They captured. They captured them.
Hold on,
Right.
Uncle. Do yourself. Okay, so like if you turn the green screen off and turn it back on, it'll fit the picture better. You know, like when you go from the little screen to the big screen.
Well, that's it's been fitting the picture. I think that's how like I screenshotted it or whatever.
What's the name of that ship?
I don't know because it was
Can't
a
hardly see it, though.
What's the name of that picture?
Swahili
What's the
slave traders.
what's the description say?
Swahili slave traders. Let me see. I have to go back on Google because I had to crop that picture down to show people because they didn't believe that those were black people on that ship.
Right.
Mm.
I feel you, bro. And I was just telling you that because I like even if I put up a picture and the host put me on the big screen, it's gonna be worked up. So can I do a little demonstration? Can you put me on the big screen?
All right, hold on. Hey, I'm looking at Swahili slave traders were involved. Oh, Indian Ocean slave trade. Which transported Africans across the ocean to various destinations, including the Middle East and beyond.
Okay. So mine is working. So let me put him back up. I was telling him if he shrinks, if you take your green screen off and put it back on and put the same picture up, it'll because we can't see it. It's like it looks all warped up. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I would have to hold on, let me see.
I got a quick question. Does any of you guys like to travel to the Middle East, Central Asia?
You said what?
Do any of you guys like to travel to the Middle East or Central Asia and India?
I ain't never been over there. So you?
Yeah, I was gonna say if you go to India, you notice they don't really there's like travel vloggers. They're the most rude and nasty towards black people. But if you go to Afghanistan and Pakistan, I don't know if you guys seen the video with Onija Robinson from New York, but yeah, she was in Pakistan and Afghanistan. They love black people compared to some of the Arab countries, a little bit more racist. But if my parents are from Afghanistan, if you go to Afghanistan, they'll treat you like royalty.
Oh wow, that's nice to know.
Really?
Yeah.
Also, real quick, y'all, that's actually East Africans. Did you already say that, Darvin?
I said it.
He said the Indian. He said the Indian. Oh, he brought the Indian Ocean
put me-
slave trade. Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah. Because hold on.
And that's been happening since that started in like 7th century. They say.
Yeah, but it's been going on for a long time though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
I can't find where I did with my other picture, man.
this John, it say slaves on deck of the HMS London Zanzibar, 1870. So mind you, 1870. That's after slavery was outlawed over here. So this wouldn't even have nothing to do with us at all because slavery was outlawed in the Americas. And then hold on. Let me finish. So when you look at the HMS London Zanzibar, it says in 1873 she was placed as a Hulk depot ship in the east coast of Africa at the Zanzibar Bay. So East Africa, and it's after slavery ended here. So that don't got nothing to do with us.
So slavery ended here in 1865, and Cuba ended in 18, and Brazil they ended like in the 1880s.
Right. So, but what would East Africans have to do with us? That's what I'm trying to
So
figure out.
let me express that. Let me express that part. A lot of the artificial AI, artificial Indians say that you can't put people on
Artificial
a wooden
Indians.
boat and sell them across the Atlantic, right? So the reason I brought this picture, I mean, they're like, how do you pack them and blah 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 blah. So if you look at the other pictures, you'll see the British taking chains off of them and everything, same way they had them chained up
Okay.
on the ships coming here.
So
So
basically,
I want
in so many words, instead of you admitting that you cap as fuck, you decide to keep going on with that lie, right?
Pretty much, pretty much. And then pull up
Yeah,
something that has literally nothing to do with us at all. Like, the post, the prompts say, "What is an African American?" It don't say nothing about Cuba.
stop dancing and listen and
yeah,
listen. Open
we
your
listen.
ears
I'm
and,
listening.
and,
What's up,
and
CR? What's up,
yeah.
HT?
So you guys, the artificial Indians say that you cannot pack all these people on a wooden ship. So what I did is went to go get a pic of a wooden ship that had enslaved Africans on it to show that you can
From
pack
East Africa.
black people. It doesn't matter. They put them on a wooden ship. Same ships that
And
were
went
similar
where?
ships that were selling this way.
Yeah, transatlantic, but they weren't traveling through the Atlantic. They were traveling through the Indian Ocean.
But ships passed through the Atlantic. Like Europeans had to get
No
over
proof
here
of
on
that.
ships, and they had to follow certain trade winds and certain currents to get to America.
Okay, so
What's-
Leroy,
Don't you know that
can
those
you finally show proof that I asked you to show proof of a boat that can make it from here to America or from America, here to Africa and from Africa to here?
The White Lion
can
is one
you
of them.
hold on,
The
sir? Let me
Catilda
finish
was
the
another
question.
one.
Let me finish the question, right?
Hold on.
Because the other picture, I wanted to see a close up of that. Let's just keep that real first, because you showed an image, right? That I do have a very clear image of. Matter of fact, let me just pull that up, because I don't know why you're trying to fit your narrative. Like, it's okay. Can you show us proof that anybody can actually get on a boat or a ship or a cruise that goes directly from here to Africa or from Africa to here without no plane?
And then Metrics is saying something. What are you saying, Metrics?
What I was going to say is, what he's trying to say is, and I want to help him with this. There's always been patterns of migrational periods. Now, for thousands and thousands of years, the First Nation people, right, have always traveled by boats. The Canary Current that is in the Atlantic Ocean will only take you from Africa to South America, but you would have to go up to the Caribbean to catch a current back. So for thousands and thousands of years, Black people have been traveling, migrating across the Atlantic for thousands of
Can
years.
I add something? Because you had mentioned from Africa to South America. There's no proof of that. It was
I have a
Europe to
log,
Africa.
ship log manifest right here.
I was talking. Okay, the ship log that you have. Okay, cool. We can put you on the big screen, but you heard me talking.
Okay, but by that time,
Mm-mm.
he would have to acknowledge that
Lick his lips.
ships were motorized. But during the time of the transatlantic slave trade,
What
they
you
were
mean
not.
motorized?
By the 1800s,
Okay.
motors
But
didn't exist.
even there's still no proof of people coming from Africa to South America. There's no way. They don't have no routes like that. Unless Africa's somewhere else that I don't know.
Can we get the
Listen.
screen taps? Like, can we get the 10K, please? Everybody tap the screen.
Yeah, let's get him to 10K, yeah. Thank you. Like, I need a mod active in the chat to remind folk. He was just licking his lips to that slave. It's about time y'all showing the slave manifest. I've been asking y'all that for a while now. He was looking like, got one. What's up, girly girl?
You focused on that, man. There ain't no reason to focus on that.
Because you on the goddamn big screen and I'm looking at my goddamn phone. That's the first goddamn thing I see.
That's for receipt goddess.
Peace.
I can't even hardly see a piece, guys. What? So where did this come from?
So this is a slave ship manifest right here, and this is the list of slave ships.
What's the boat? What boat is that?
You got a few of them. You got Juno, Alexander, Molly, Jamaican.
The name of the boat?
Yeah,
he's the name
that was
of
the name of the boats.
Okay.
Holly.
Okay, so where were they traveling?
This is coming from the Gold Coast, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Gulf
Oh,
Coast
that's
of
from the British.
America. Okay.
That's from the British. That's from the British archives. I've seen
And
that
here,
before.
this is Gold Coast, and right here is Bonny and Calabar. So that's like southeast Nigeria, all that. That's what a lot of
No, those places weren't even
BBO
known
people
at that
coming
time,
from.
sir.
Yeah, those places didn't exist at that time.
Yeah.
The tribes existed there, though. That's
But
the
we're talking
The
about
tribes-
destinations.
Yeah.
ma'am.
destinations.
Everybody knows that. That's not even a
We're
question that
we're
we've
talking
been
about
asked.
destinations and we're talking about shipping. This is a
Calabar
business.
and Bonny
It's a business,
existed.
sir.
Yeah,
Calabar and
and
Bonny
what it means to
existed
have
before
a
Nigeria.
A destination.
yeah, I got you. I just wanted to say real fast. And how do we know that these tribes existed? Because, for example, Igbo is IGBO, but that's spelled with English letters. So, but how would the Africans spell Igbo in their language or their letters without?
Okay,
using our
Cherokee
letters?
is spelled with English letters. So okay, so
yeah,
what
but
is that?
Cherokee isn't the original name, and Cherokee also has their own
Ananawi
letters.
is spelled with English letters. Okay,
Okay, so what's your point?
is you not making a point? You just saying it's spelled with
I-
English
no,
letters.
I asked a question. I'm not making a point. I asked a question. I said, how would the Igbo spell their name without the use of the English letters?
They didn't have a
Because you
writing
said-
system, so they wouldn't have spelled it.
It was
Right.
made. It was
Okay.
it's a
So they
made up
didn't have
tribe
a
in the
writing
first place.
system.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. So for all we know,
Girly girl, you got to take that tinfoil hat
but
off.
still, for
Yeah,
all
King
we-
Cass.
Do not address her.
Yeah, exactly. And for all we know, we don't know where these people came from. We don't know who they are. We don't know how long they've been in Africa. They're just people that they grabbed allegedly because, like y'all say, there's no records.
I can tell you, but look, we have to look into the etymology of the word, right? So when I look at ramen, like the packet ramen, ra means like the sun, right? Fire, God. Men means fertility. So ramen was about the god of fertility. So as black people, we were fed ramen, right? We had so much fertility, they wanted to like
and blah 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 blah. Babble. He just babbling.
Because I'm just wondering, like, because I have that document and I know what that document is about. I was just trying to see what he was going to say about it because as far as we're going, I'm not going to accuse him of anything, but it seems kind of like pepperoni and cheese a little bit. So I don't want to accuse him. So I'm just waiting on him to bring it back up because there you go. So let me ask you a question. You can get off mute. Okay, so
Brazilian woman.
Yoruba woman. So the reason
Yoruba is Yoruba
because the tribal markings on her face. They
Okay,
will have
so-
3
for
tribal
sure.
markings.
Sorry.
So a lot of African tribes identified themselves different.
let's not hold on.
This is
Sorry.
probably
Wait a
the-
minute, wait a minute, OG. I'm sorry. Because I know that you're still waiting on your response.
Oh,
Because
I
we
just
were
wanted to
talking
say
about
that it
ships.
says probably. That's all.
I'm just trying to figure out, like, you're showing this woman and you're showing the word Yoruba underneath it, right? Now, not that you had did this on document yourself, because obviously that comes from Google. But my whole thing is, when it comes to the Yoruba word and the origin on which it's spelled, that's not correct when it comes to this woman that you're showing. The location is not where you think it is. So basically, in so many words, the Europa comes from what? South America, Brazil.
No, she was taken to South America like they were taken to Cuba, right?
So where
So
was she
when we
taken
get
from?
initiated,
No.
when we get initiated in Santeria, Yoruba tradition, we get, because they don't do the scarification no more. We take the 3 like
Scarification did not start in
paintings
Africa.
depending on the Orisha. the colors that they use, and you paint those three tribal markers on your face or whatnot during the crowning ceremony
Mhm.
in
And
Lukumi
where did that
or
originate? The crowning ceremony?
that originated in Nigeria and
No,
Europe.
it did not. No, it did not. It did not, sir.
So are y'all in
All this,
Lukumi
he's
or
telling you
Candomblé?
he learned all of this when he went and joined whatever this is in Miami, Florida, in America.
I don't know I don't even know this lady.
Yeah, Cass,
I don't know who this lady is.
you've been
Hold on,
mentioned
what's
several times.
We heard you say you don't know who this lady is.
Yeah, you've been
Twice.
quiet.
yeah? I was about to say. Also, now, since you bring that up, which one of your ancestors had tribal markers when they came over here, Leroy?
Well, the Fulani one I brought up, he would have tribal markers too. They had different tribal
Where
markers.
your
That's how
family?
this in the Sudanic region, how these tribes identify
Oh, your
themselves.
Moorish ancestor. Your Moorish ancestor. Cool.
Yeah. So this Yoruba woman, like in Yoruba, you see a lot of them, especially Egbado and all them, the different groups with amongst the Yoruba, they would have these three tribal markers on the side. So now since they don't do it because the Spanish outlawed it, they were painted the color of their patron Orisha on their face. So Batala would be like white, Moja would be blue, Shango would be red, Oshun would be yellow.
Can I say something? And not to interrupt you, I apologize. Markings and all of that stuff started around the coast of Mexico. So when you speak about the Spanish had did what? They had stopped it from happening or whatever. So I'm just trying to figure out, like, why would you use this? Like, and then why?
Because to go look and see if they got markers like how she has, you know. They
Mhm.
probably did have tattoo markers. Black people keloid.
I don't.
So it's gonna show up more on our faces.
That's not what I was saying. What I'm saying is, right, when it comes to the actual marking and everything that you're saying, right? And then the fact that they say a woman in Brazil, right? And the tribe that they're using is the Yoruba, you're using modern day terminologies with ancient times. And times where these words like Yoruba and Nigeria and Angola, all these places are new terminologies, is what I'm just trying to get you to see.
I don't have to use the word Yoruba is not a new term, but I can use Nago, I can use
Yeah, but
Ife, I can use
what she's
Oyo.
asking is, where does it fit your argument? Where are you trying to take this?
I'm trying to show the slaves that were brought to the Americas because they not only brought them to South America, they brought them to North America
Sir,
as well.
you
So I'm
cannot-
giving you
You are
an
capitalism.
article with
One
an
slave.
actual slave
You gonna show
that was taken there.
you gonna show us one from that says the United States?
Yeah, you show slaves from the United States.
Well, not
Show one.
Even though the when the camera was invented around the time slavery was ending here during the Civil War, and they still had slavery later in Brazil in 1888. A lot of the pirate ships were raiding the slave ships that were coming over here because the British was beefing with the Spanish and the Portuguese. And that's how the British Empire came to be so huge because they were winning the war.
That was in the early
With the pirates.
1600s, though. That was in the 1600s.
Sir, that wasn't in the city. They had pirate ships in the 17 and 1800s. Stop it.
In the Civil War.
I'm not, no. I said, what I'm saying is, the British made it law that you cannot. I'm not saying that they didn't have pirate ships. I'm saying the British made it law in the 1600s that you can't transport human cargo.
No, they didn't.
Yes, they did.
They were just getting into the game. No, they didn't.
Sir, stop.
They outlawed that in
Why would you be quick to say no, you didn't? When you're not even showing reliable sources.
Let's show the
just be real.
source.
We're just trying to be nice, right? So can you show us a reliable source for once?
You're not gonna believe any of my stuff for life because you have an
I
automatic
know that.
emotional
Don't
bias.
accuse me. Don't accuse me. I didn't accuse you. I'm just saying, can you show a reliable source? Because what you're trying to do, I get what you're trying to do, brother. I'm not trying to stun on it, right? But you can't force us to not be honest. I'm just saying.
But receipt guy, you
are
should be
not-
learning.
you don't overtake.
You're
Don't
not teaching her
overtalk.
anything.
Just chill out, right? I'm just trying to get you to understand that I see you. You know what I'm saying? It's cool. But, can you please, like I said, show us a reliable source? Because let me just stop being nice.
What's
You're
the
trying to
argument?
paint a narrative.
I showed the ship.
He's
One
trying
mic,
to
one
paint a
mic,
Show
y'all.
shit
narrative that is
manifest.
not even factual. Can you stop painting a narrative and let's get to the truth?
You just
I
can't
can
go
show
on
the ship
Google.
manifest
You
printed
just
like
can't go on Google and
Go
search
ahead.
people
modern
like
day.
we
Yeah.
can't do the same to you. We need documentation. We need genealogy. I got my genealogy records right now because I can pull mine up, and I'm not from Africa. I got proof, 100% proof that I'm not from there, and I'm talking about real like 100%.
Are you the
proof.
one saying your records go back to 1492?
I didn't
Did he
say
say
anything.
that? And why
I
would
didn't
you
say none
interrupt
of that.
him in the middle of him talking? Go
Yeah,
ahead.
good.
I didn't say that. I'm telling you that I have no dealings with Africa. I got my genealogy right now, and I got a picture of my grandmother, but I'm not putting it on TikTok because I don't need to. I don't need to
So
prove
we can't
no one
believe
that. But
you.
I'm
We just
on
going
that.
back
If
your
I
word
can,
for
it
a
can be
second.
done.
You don't have to believe him.
You don't have to believe. We not asking y'all to believe us. Go ahead,
Yeah,
Nikki.
yeah. Why would you say something like that? Why did he have to qualify your belief?
I got a question.
Hold on,
That
Nikki.
seemed very ignorant.
Nikki wants to take. Hold on, Nikki wants to speak, y'all.
I put my family up. Here go one of my family members.
Excuse me, that
Yeah,
photo
he's
that
got
you're
that more.
presenting,
Oh, go ahead,
that
Nikki.
photo that you were presenting of the quote unquote African, what year was that?
That was
The
the late
Brazilian
1800s.
one.
You got to remember what time when
What year was
Thomas,
it?
was it Thomas Edison when they invented the camera and stuff like that.
No, what year was that?
Let me see.
Yeah, shit, that dude he just posted was a goddamn Moor. He's a goddamn, like, come on, y'all. I looked into it. He got a fucking Arabic name.
People
Those are the
understand that a
ones.
lot of
Those are the
Brazilians.
people that, and those are the people that we're beefing with as well. We're not only beefing with the so-called Africans, we're beefing with the Khazarians and the Arabs. Because you look around in America, look who's running all the gas stations. A lot of people may not look at it. Oh, they just over here know the Arabs and the Africans. Well, all of them pretty much. They don't supposed to be here on the territory anyway. Because it took 7 countries to take over. They had to go and reinforce because we was too powerful. It took 7 countries to take us down.
Yeah, and I want to say,
brother, you making that up, brother.
Hold on, don't.
No, that's not. That is true.
We not going to talk about what you're making up. Can you answer Nikki's question? What year was that other photo?
Question. Yeah, along with my question, people never insert the history of all the Brazilians that were taken to Nigeria. There is a Brazilian culture over there. There are Brazilian structures over there. There's a Brazilian language over there. I mean, you could see the presence of Brazil over there. Lagos is actually a word that derives from over here. Okay. So that's why I need dates, because when you say this, that could very well be just a Brazilian that was brought back. You know what I'm saying? People always think Africa and they have this image in their mind all the time. But I've seen YT people come off those ships. Literally, I have a photo of a friend's grandparent from Senegal.
Bullshit with Lagos, man. Where did you get that?
And it's a YT lady. I was talking, I couldn't even hear you. But so when you say that, that's why I'm asking, what is the date on that person, that photo that they reached Brazil? Ifi is not even original to the continent of Africa. It comes from Arabia. Okay, so when you're talking about the Orishas and all those things, those aren't the origins there. You really have to dig into that history.
All came from America. All the Orishas are American. That's our shit. And New Orleans is the home of voodoo, or whatever you want to call it. This, you know what I mean? The home of the voodoo, which they want to say that was something that came from Africa, which is lies. Never came from Africa. You look at all
Read
your
this prompt. I want to read this prompt that's up real quick.
Revert back to New Orleans.
All right, go ahead.
It says,
read
yes, after the abolition of slavery in Brazil, some Yoruba people who had been enslaved returned to Lagos, Nigeria. These individuals, known as the Agudas or Emancipados, which is a Portuguese word, chose to return to their homeland, carrying with their language, traditions, and religious practices. They established communities in Lagos, contributing to the cultural landscape of the city.
So
There
Lagos,
you go for the
Nigeria
latest
wasn't even named that at
thought
that
that
time.
they took some imaginary Indians over there.
Sir, okay, so you said
Imaginary
Indians. Hold on. You said imaginary Indians, and then you're using the terms Lagos, Nigeria for this particular time period.
That's where the Lagos company
that wasn't even a place that existed at that time, sir.
Founded it.
Found it. Oh my God. Hey,
Didn't even have their own alphabet.
I could
Let
not.
me see.
Yeah, can I ask a question?
All right, what you want, King?
You just pulling up shit now. Come on now, that ain't no. Come on, bro.
Hold on, King had a question. What you
Yeah, I got
got?
a question. It seems like I'm African. I'm Ethiopian. So it seems like you guys don't have any roots from Africa. So where you guys from? We are
What
from.
do you think? What do you think? Well, hold on. If we're saying that we're American, what do you think we're from?
Probably y'all fall from the sky.
You said what?
You guys fall from the sky.
What tribe are you, King? What tribe are you?
Shut the
Wait,
fuck
you came
up,
from
dumbass.
Hold on.
Yeah,
You called me.
Lucy?
Hold on. Oh yeah, goddamn.
He's a Lucy descendant.
Called me like you ain't even shown your face, King.
Yeah,
You ain't probably come out been with none since you came out of one. So with that being said, I don't know why they come up here and try to insult us. Like get your point across early.
So
relative snatching on Lucy.
Saying that you come from a goddamn ape. Like, bro, get out of here.
She need to come get her kids.
what's up, Sam?
What's up with y'all?
What's up? You want to add something?
What I said wasn't true. So
He took a deep breath. He said it.
But I mean,
Oh, flabbergasted. Like, just get your point across.
okay. I as far as it goes, tracing a African ancestor in the Americas, right, from a genealogical perspective, if you can't trace, 12 to 16 generations of your family back, so that's your grandma's 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 grandma's
You ain't
grandma's
gonna say
grandma's
grandma like 15 times.
yeah, like 12 to 16. You're not gonna find no you ain't gonna find no African ancestor. And Mike, I'm not African. I'm not too sure if that was for me. I'm Black American on all sides of my lineage, even down to the one lady from Barbados, 6-7 generations back. She was described as a Black woman from Barbados. That's still an American island, regardless. But my point is, I do believe that there were melanated people in North America at a point, and that predates colonial intervention. How many? I don't know. How vast it was? I don't know. I'm still learning. I'm learning a lot from Darwin in this platform, and a lot of y'all actually. However, I can't go as far back as to deny African origin at some point. Granted, we know the transatlantic slave trade happened at some point, and whether there were some that were taken to the east coast of America, or they came from the Caribbean, or they came from Brazil or South, whatever it is, Black folks from Africa were either traveled on their own through their own vessels at some point in the past to these land masses, or they came via a slave trade. So I love how knowledgeable a lot of people on this panel are. It's just mind-boggling to me how someone could say that, Ifa and Santeria and all the spin-off and breakaway religions and spiritualities that are documented to have origins in West Africa largely
Documented on what?
Are documented largely West African, that they came, that they traveled here. The practitioners themselves will tell you. I'm somewhat of an occultist myself, like I get in my little, ritual bag here and there, and the practitioners themselves will tell you that the craft of sorts is African in origin.
Where did they get
Well,
here?
can you follow? Can you follow me, because I can send you something that says otherwise.
Okay,
follow me and I'll follow you back.
I'm always open to
All
being
originated in
wrong,
America.
but I'm
Their
just
And I'll
roots
send you
originated here in America. They did not
There are
come from
no
no
seafaring
Africa, brother.
African nations.
You
There are
don't
no
know anything
seafaring
about.
Africans.
You don't know
There are no
anything about
shipbuilding
voodoo.
African nations. How did they get
you
here?
don't know
Going
what I
into
know
it. So
about
you don't know
you
anything
don't
about
you
it.
don't know who I
You don't know
am.
the original. You don't
You
even
don't
know the
know.
origin,
Are
the
you
basis
serious?
of voodoo.
Deal. They did not go anywhere.
Listen, I'm not saying that.
Birthplace
I'm
of it is
not
New
denying the
Orleans.
fact that black folks or black people, I'm sorry, melanated people, black people, whatever, you know, the American Indian, right? I'm not denying that there were black people. If there's gonna be black people on every other fucking continent, nigga, why in the fuck would they
Exactly.
not be in the
But you still
Americas?
want to put us in Africa. You still want to bring them here for
But
some
I'm
reason.
saying that because it's the
Is that your
origin of
history, or you trying to put it on
humanity.
everybody else? Is that
It's
your
the origin of humanity.
It is
What
not.
is going on?
I
Hold on, what is
honestly
going on?
believe that
You wanna-
Homo sapiens are a lot older. We're a lot older than what
Just say
science
your
and
Oh,
grandfather
school
was
brother.
tells
on
us.
Lucy and keep it moving.
Oh, brother, like, yeah, hold on, one mic on me real quick. What's going on? Did somebody say Hootie was from Africa?
Hoodoo.
What
I'm
did?
ready.
Sam I am did.
Oh, fuck no. That's where I draw the line. Voodoo, I mind my business with that.
Yeah,
But
but
hoodoo,
It's not. I'm
fuck
birthing
no.
to it. It's not from Africa. It's not.
yeah, I didn't say hoodoo.
It's from. It's
I
the
didn't say
original of
hoodoo. I
voodoo
said
came
voodoo.
from New
Okay.
Orleans.
Oh, you
That's
said
the
voodoo.
home
All right.
of the
I never
voodoo is New
said
Orleans.
hoodoo was African, by the way.
Okay. All right. I was just
Came from
somebody said
Africa.
that shit in the
I
comments.
said voodoo and Ifa and Santeria, Ifa, voodoo, all of that is African spirituality, bro.
No, it's not.
We're
my
not
brother.
doing this. We're not rewriting
Everything
history
came.
on
Everything
here. We're not
started
doing
here
this.
in America, right here in
You
New
niggas are
Orleans. No, it
rewriting
did not.
history.
It do not. It ain't history. What the hell you talking about? His story is nothing
It's,
but
the
lies.
history been
Why would I go
rewritten.
read up
We're
something that a white
correcting it.
man
What
wrote when I
Y'all are
know it
rewriting
came
it
One
right
mic,
now.
y'all. One
We
mic. Hold on.
Y'all
One
are
mic.
rewriting it right
We're
now.
correcting it.
Brother. The first sweep of the night. How many times have I had to sweep the panel tonight? Take a shot for every time I had to sweep the panel. Y'all can request up. Y'all gotta relax, y'all. Wow. Let's go. It's all love, y'all. I'll bring you up. Yeah, request up. It's all love.
Yeah, TikTok, this is for entertainment, educational purposes only, no hate speech, bullying, or harassment. People need to calm down. This is an 18 plus live, y'all. Can we please continue to tap the screen? We should have been at 20K. We have over 80 people here. Let's put some fruits in the chat. Do not put F1. And if you're going to make any allegations as a collective by saying we and us, can you please show documentation? That is very triggering. You can't speak for everyone's BLOD line. When you can't unless you show documentation. So
true.
12 to 16 generations.
12 to 16 generations of what, sir?
Trace your family back 12 to 16 generations.
Me, I'm in the 1100s. What,
You in the 1100s? You know every ancestor from the 1100s until now?
Yes.
Oh, but love. I'm not too sure if you've showed this to people, folks. I'm like new around these parts. I've become somewhat of a more consistent viewer in the last like few weeks and whatnot. But I would love to see. And I'm not challenging you because, like, you know, I love the genealogy stuff. Like, I'm genuinely interested in what that looks like.
So for what?
I mean, that's amazing. I mean, 900 years of documented, you know, lineage. That's insane. I would love to. I would love to see it.
Much insane, but I feel what you're saying. But yeah, my I only show like so much, but people have seen my records. But it's enough of people actually cosplaying as us. In this day and age, nobody else is questioning a recessive person. So for me to have to want to show my proof is absolutely not.
Well, I was just saying.
I ain't
that,
talking about
you. Yeah, I was just saying that I hear folks often asking, and not even just on this platform. This is a popular like spaces topic on fucking Twitter. They're always saying like, you know, show us your African ancestor, and that's not an easy thing to do for anybody that is, you know, considered themselves to be Black American by way of the transatlantic slave trade. I don't want to get that confused with American Indians because I've been learning a lot about the American Indian identity.
You know, the crazy thing about it is no one actually knows that. I don't think anybody has ever seen a Nigerian birth certificate, right? Let alone the fact that a lot of these people that are questioning us don't have documented history, right? And then on top of that, these people are the biggest scammers. So while they're saying, yeah, show us this, show us that, what do y'all think they're doing with it after this? You know what I'm saying? Because our socials have been duplicated. You know what I'm saying? They come over here, they change their names to our original names, but they're the ones who deceive from the people who have basically painted a narrative that our names come from Europeans or white people, which is cap, you know? So I don't feel the need to have to prove anything to anybody. Not saying that you're saying that, brother, you know what I'm saying? Because I wouldn't mind showing you on a personal level. But the fact that these people do not question these natives or Africans who host these platforms and show no document proof of them actually being related to us, them even speaking about the truth about what's going on in Africa, how they don't even have no history. You know what I'm saying? Like, until they can explain that their Mother Earth is not Mother Earth, until they could explain the reason why they keep coming the fuck over here, I'm not showing them shit. You know, go ahead.
Big bag. Oh, that shit stuck in my head. My bad. Go ahead. Huh? Oh, Nikki, you're in the Matrix. No, you sound like I can hear you now. I was gonna say you was in the blender.
I was saying, you have seen a lot of my genealogy. I'm 17 generation.
You are buffering.
Yeah.
Yeah, she buffering. You buffering still. I heard a bit of it though.
I came in a bit late. Did y'all unpack what y'all think African American is already? Did I miss that? Or can I get my opinion on what I think an African American is?
Sure.
Cool. This is just my opinion, but I think black society of today, I think, is moving away from African American, like that the old school way of saying anybody that's black in America is African American. I think those days are gone. I think the African American today is someone that is a recent immigrant, whether it be like their grandparents or their mother, or a first generation, whatever. Like, to me, that is a African American, and everything else that predates, I would say, the 1800s. If your folks is black and you've been in America, I consider those to be black American people. That's my opinion.
African Americans come from the tribe called Mansa Musa.
You waited your whole life to say that, huh?
Yeah.
I know. Doesn't it feel good to like hide behind a platform and act like you're tough?
You should be proud, Mansa Musa.
I'm not proud of none of that bullshit. Take that shit back to Akubalan.
Oh, DYT.
Somebody from Africa. Y'all don't even want to be called from. Matter of fact, I said this before. I said that I work with a couple of Africans, and they tell me they don't say they from Africa at all. They say they from Nigeria. They say they from.
Yeah,
they
the
say
people.
They from
The people who are really supposed to be labeled as African American is the natives. Y'all know that. That's why they were happy with the term native, even though they self-identify.
Correct.
And legally and politically, they supposed to be they're Indians, but whatever. Has anybody seen Big Back? Where's Big Back? Has anybody seen Big Back?
Mm-mm.
He ain't been around.
Where's our historic? He's probably in trouble.
05 and Big Back ain't been around. I think I seen OHF pop in the live yesterday. I think I did, or the live before that. Big Back, Big Back. You know I need a big snack. That shit stuck in my head. You know I can't see my
Negro or a colored. That's what they used to call us. They used to call us colored. So you're gonna be called colored or Negro. That's what you're gonna be called. That's before they changed the name in the 70s to African American for black people in America. I'm black, but they thought on the job casting, a job application, they'll say, okay, check this box. We don't even have that anymore. It just says African American. So that I have to be an African American.
African American is not.
Colored.
It's not
They
an
call us
ethnicity
colors or
or
Negroes.
nationality.
You could
It's
be a
not
Negro or a
neither.
colored. Then that's what it was back in the 60s and the 70s. You could be Negro or colored. Now
not an
African American, that's better. I'd rather be African American than a Negro or colored.
I'd rather
It's
be
not a-
nothing
it's not
but what
enough.
they want to call me. I'd rather be my bloodline.
Exactly. Exactly. Because we arguing over what they want us to be. Fuck them. I self-identify.
I'd rather be a fucking mango.
And my
Matter of
grandma
fact,
told
matter
me
of fact,
a lot
I
of
Well, I'll be
self-identify
black. Well, I'll be
as a
black then.
mango.
Black
I
is proud.
self-identify.
I'm black and I'm proud. Black is beautiful.
Black is bullshit.
I'll be
Right.
black. Yes.
You ain't you don't even look like the color of your background.
No.
Exactly.
I'm a light-skinned black guy. I'm light-skinned.
Black means that
I'm
you're
light-skinned.
black means you're a slave. So now
No.
do you want to be called black?
No,
And then-
my
and then-
last name is
hold on,
Henderson.
hold
No.
up. And now people wonder why you get pulled over by the police because you're labeled as black. Black means slave. Did you know that?
Correct.
Now
I didn't
the
know that.
police is acting as a slave patrol.
I don't want to be called Negro.
Oh,
and
he's
I want to
also
be called
Uh,
colored.
what
Oh,
does
he's
what does
also
Negro
called
mean?
an
Negro
enemy
mean
of the
black
state.
too, right?
He also
Yes.
called the enemy of the state too. He an enemy of the
What's going
government. He's
down?
the enemy, so they're gonna treat him that way as well as an enemy because he's the enemy of the state.
No, man. I don't want nobody to just label me what the fuck they want to label me. I'm not no damn color. And politics don't deal with skin color. They deal with politics. So if you're labeled as black, that means you're a slave. That's why people who are labeled as African American and black get treated like shit. Because you're supposed to be monitored. They're the slave patrol. So being called Negro, Negro means black. Negro is not even an African word. It's a Spanish word. But what were you saying? Mouth or who was
Colored.
that?
So you're,
Oh no, that's
for
my
that,
bad,
you
my
was
bad.
colored. We just told you colored. And
I'm
you
sorry.
accepted
I'm sorry.
that?
Did you say your last name was Henderson?
Yes. So that's
Okay,
a white
so
name.
hold on. So your name,
That's
your
not a
last
white
name Henderson
name.
is not African.
No,
Okay,
it's not.
that's my people's last name. It's not African. So why are you calling yourself African American?
Because I grew up in the United States.
But
and
not,
I
not
used to be called.
were
No,
you born?
I
Were you born
no,
in
I was
Africa?
born in Philadelphia. No, I was born in
Okay,
Philadelphia.
and your last name is Henderson, which is not an African name. So
Right.
again, why are you calling yourself an African American if none of your culture, none of your name or anything like that has go back to Africa? And you weren't born in Africa. Your mom and your daddy weren't born in Africa. Your grandparents weren't born in Africa. Your great grandparents weren't born in Africa. Your great great grandparents weren't born in Africa. Your great 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 grandparents were. I mean, you guys need to keep going. So why are you gonna call yourself
Yes.
African American? None
My
of your people
great
came
great
from that
great
continent.
grandparents were slaves, and
Slave
they
where? Wait, do you got paperwork though?
Right.
Do you got
Yes.
paperwork?
You tired
Yes.
of people saying
Pull
this
it
No,
up.
you
because
don't.
want to.
Show,
I
you
do.
gotta
I
show
do.
me.
2 generations of my family. I did.
Because I ain't even have to go back deep into my genealogy. I had to go back as one generation, and my tribe don't even say nothing from Africa. I got a
Okay.
tribe. And
I
I'm
Well,
remember.
let's hold on. Gotta say, ask him a question, y'all. Let's not
Do
derail.
you
Can
have
you turn your
paperwork,
camera on?
legit paperwork, saying that your grandmother and her name said that she was a slave from Africa?
no.
Exactly.
My
So how
great
do you know?
grandmother. No, slavery ended in 1865.
No.
So
I don't care when slavery is. What I'm
1865. So
asking you
my great
is,
What does
grandmother.
that have to do with your family? You're not listening. What does that have to do with your family? Just because
Exactly. It has
slavery
nothing
ended,
to
what
do
does
with
that have
your
to do with your bloodline?
Do you have paperwork with her name on it? It says slave next to it. That's what I want to know. Because if you don't, then you don't have proof that your people were slaves. You don't have proof that your great grandmother was a slave. You don't have proof that your great grandfather was a slave. You don't have proof that your great 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 grandparents were slaves because you don't have no paperwork.
But what if
gonna
you
just
do though?
believe what somebody told you and your grandmama didn't tell you that and your grandfather didn't tell you that?
But
Yeah, ain't no but. That's it.
no,
That's
can I
what
step
you
in?
gotta
Can I step in?
Don't
No,
disrespect
I
your people
literally
like
got
that.
his.
Oh yeah.
No,
Oh,
listen,
yeah.
no, on everything I love.
Sam.
Give me a second. I'm about to land. I'm not gonna go deep into the topic. I'm more so saying those Black historians absolutely traced our lineage back to slavery and to the actual plantations. So that is true for us. That is
own
true
the
for some people.
plantation. We weren't slaves on our own shit, is what I'm trying to tell you. We own the plantation. So tell me the paperwork that says your great grandmother with the name on the plantation when she got there, okay, when she was a slave on that plantation, and when she was freed. That's why everybody get quiet, because you don't
documentation you require. I don't know what type of documentation you're requiring.
I got documentation.
Okay, look. So if
got documentation.
My bad, goddess.
I can put it up on the screen. That's okay. I'm sorry. I can put it up on the screen though. I got documentation from the 16, 17, 1800s. Yeah.
So my whole thing is this. Hold on, Sam. Hold on. But see, you up on the platform, right? Saying a lot of things, right? Saying that this is true and that is true, and you have yet to show any documentations to back up what you're saying. Not only are you not producing that, every time someone is trying to tell you something, right? Not saying that you're supposed to believe it. How can you negate it? You can't show documented proof about your bloodline and what it has. You get what I'm saying? It's like, why is everybody regurgitating to a governmental school position when you don't have the documentation of your family members?
I don't know.
And then I want to know.
Can I respond?
Oh my fucking God!
You can't respond unless you got some receipts.
No, listen. First of all, I do have the receipts.
Okay, well, pull them up. Pull them
Please.
I've been pulling the receipts all night.
Right now.
No,
I
you
can
don't
pull
have
the
to show
receipts
receipts
right now. Matter of fact, I am. Hold on.
1100s. The 1100s, please.
Ain't nobody finna show you shit.
Right.
You up here on the platform with a fucking cartoon character as a profile. Who are you?
Uh-oh.
Let's just keep that 100. But you want somebody to show you their documented. But you want somebody to show you their documented history.
Please.
What you got?
With your with your grandparents' name on some paperwork that said when they were slaves, when they came over, what date, you know what I'm saying? All that.
An ad. Okay.
I wanted to show this. Yeah, I want to show this real quick. It's an ad, and this is in the Pennsylvania Journal, May 15, 1782. Use the term African American near the bottom. Afro-American has been documented as early as 1831, with Black American 1818 and Africo-American 1788, going back even further. So we have actual paper. This is way before
that was only in
Jackson.
Pennsylvania. Yeah, that was only in Pennsylvania.
Yeah,
Right.
but it was up.
Let's get it. Pennsylvania at that particular time, right? Do you know who started the press? Who started the publishing of newspapers and stuff like that? And did you know the whole purpose of them doing it?
Who and who?
Excuse me?
Who and who?
I'm asking you, do you know?
And why?
I'm asking you a question.
No, I'm asking who and why. So,
So basically, they were putting out, right, newspapers to fit their narrative, right? These Go ahead, mother.
No, I'm just saying false information. Yep. Just like, false information. Their narrative, their story. Them then. Keep going, goddess.
Yeah, they people will never say they don't know. Not on the internet, at least.
Right.
Well, no, I pull up documents. Like, no matter what, Jesse Jackson didn't come up with the term, so we could nip that in the bud.
They don't say
stop
nothing.
using that,
Sir.
right?
Sir. Those were around the times, right? Because the times that you're speaking of, right, are around the times of indentured servitude, right? So you're talking about Pennsylvania, Pennsylvania around that area, right? That's when indentured servitude.
Yeah, they had black slaves.
So hold on, sir. They did not have no black. People were labeled as black as a race, meaning not skin color. If you're labeled as black, that means you're a prisoner.
The skin color was synonymous
interrupting me,
with the
sir.
race.
I'm trying.
label.
You know what, dude? I don't have time for this shit because you don't.
I'm
be
just
showing
responding
proof.
to you. Like,
I
why
let
you
you
get
finish.
emotional all the time? Go ahead.
God damn. It's like what bothers me the most is people love to talk about politics, right? And they but the media does put out the quote unquote misinformation on skin color, right? So if you're talking about skin color, that has nothing to do with racism. That's colorism. Okay? Colorism. Colorism is not the same as racism. Think about the word race. Race is a social construct. Politics do not deal with fucking skin color. That's why you see them all elites be kicking it together. Okay, they kick it together because they share a common interest, which means a common culture of basically taking over whole entire people and basically doing the shit that they do, which is make money, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Why do people keep putting politics and skin color together? That's just
a race is created. Okay, we the only people that ain't a race. We weren't created.
Yeah, that's why they call it white
science lab. We weren't a science experiment.
Philadelphia. All right, I got this for you. Philadelphia is like the only place before the 1900s that had anywhere that labeled people as African American in a census style or as a classification. But yeah, Philadelphia, U.S. African American Census, 1847. And it, you know, it's quite interesting. It doesn't even mean that all these people on here were even African American per se. But
Can,
yeah,
can I ask Nikki a question?
Hold on, let him finish.
But yeah, I was done. I was done.
Okay, go ahead.
To ask Nikki a question. Are you a Ojibwe, Nikki?
The fuck?
No, I'm not.
So why are you using the term Niji?
Nietzsche don't come, man. Get the fuck
right.
Wait, guys. Wait. Hold on.
Yeah.
When did I use that word?
Hold on. Somebody removed him. Let me bring it back up. Hold on.
Yeah.
It's like you just came out of nowhere.
You just used somebody dropped me, but you just used it in the chat. You just said this Niji is.
I didn't use it. That was somebody's name. I replied to them.
Okay.
So what are you talking about?
Oh, so they must be Ojibwe then, right?
So what is
Maybe,
that?
I don't know.
Why are we playing semantics? Why do you use yo, Leroy?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like,
are you Cherokee? You say hey, Leroy. You say hey.
Hey, hello.
That's Lenape. Why are you using that?
What? Hey.
Yes, that's Lenape.
Oh, Lenape, that mixed tribe over there, and
no, it's not. Are you Lenape, Leroy?
Well, I know Turtle Gang. Turtle Gang says he's
No, I asked if you're Lenape.
No, I'm not.
Then why do you use hey?
Because we never, as far as Black Americans, we never use the word Niji in everyday time.
But yeah, we have hey. But you're saying hey. That's Lenape. Are you Lenape?
It's hey Lenape. I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah, it means hello in Lenape.
Hey, Halito, and all that stuff. Huh? I never.
Yeah, you can look it up.
How do you know about our history? Aren't you an African American?
Yeah, I'm foundational African American.
Oh no,
that's the same thing as a Pan-African.
FAA. You got that EBA too, ain't you, Leroy?
Not a new acronym.
What's
AKA Freemason.
The FAA here, FAA.
Yeah, FAA.
AKA P. Diddler.
Yeah, we got the FAA, we got the EBA, which is also the EBA, which we don't know what EBA means.
You got the FUBU.
Yeah, EBA means everywhere but Africa. So the FAA is also the EBA.
I got a question. I just want to say something quick. Why do people claim they African American? Why they ain't carry ass to Africa? Why they ain't carry ass to Africa?
Thank
you.
Why
as
you
a
not living in Africa
foundational
right now?
as a foundational African American, we're supposed to be a
One at a time.
So we supposed to. I'm gonna answer this question. So as a FAA with direct lineage base, we were supposed to get reparations, and we're supposed to get 40 acres in the mule that was owed to us, never give it to us. Those few states in the South that we were supposed to get after slavery.
You never get
we already own it. That's
Yeah.
what listen, we still own it. We got the top dog allodial titles, the land patents to this land. We still own it. Don't play with me.
The majority of Black people are not landowners.
Yes, we are.
Yes, we are. That's why it's
The
occupied.
indigenous people of this land are not Black people. The indigenous people of this land, which is us, own this land. Not no Black people, because there's
No,
no
I know
such thing as
Native
Black.
Americans with land. I don't know no.
No.
y'all.
American Indians, aka us, me, right here, the indigenous people of this land, have titles to this land right now.
Take your land.
No, they cannot. Sorry, I got the paperwork for that too, baby, and I can prove it. See what you talking about? You ain't got proof. I got proof. I got proof.
Chat, once you gone, Leroy. Bye bye.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm gonna pull up my document. Can't nobody do shit to me. I'm gonna show y'all. I don't give a fuck.
Don't pull up no land pad.
Okay.
Don't pull up no land pad. Don't pull up no land pad.
No, not no land pad. Hell no.
Oh, okay, I was about to say.
Right. He can't. If you call yourself an African American, you can't pull up no land pad.
Hold on.
I want to see this.
Nah, this ain't a land pad. This just
That's a
showing
census
who I
record.
am.
We know what that is. It's a census record. We all got them. Yep.
That's what I'm just showing you real quick.
Oh, that's one of your ancestors.
Yeah, you get it up. Just showing you.
What year was that? Because I didn't get to see it before flash it.
Hold on 1 second.
That man called himself an FAA.
What the fuck? Federal? What is a federal
Foundation.
African American? What the fuck is that?
There it goes.
Foundational African American. What is that?
An
What year
EBA.
was that? 19 what? Or 18 what? FBA, that's what
That's
they're saying
18.
now.
That's 1860. That's why I said I have to go back. I didn't have to go that far.
Okay, well I went further. I got paperwork from the 1400s.
Yeah, I know. I know I can go further. I'm saying I'm just letting you know I ain't had to go that far to even say I'm not from Africa.
Well, see, no, you got to go further than that because let me explain something to you. Okay, now the U.S. corporation, not the USA, they created their own census records in 1790. Okay, but if you didn't know, we, the melanated peoples, the indigenous peoples, are the creator of genealogy. So we had paperwork before the U.S. corporation created their census records. You understand what I'm saying? So that's why we got paperwork going back further than the 1790s. So you keep doing your genealogy, you're gonna go back further. You're gonna be able to go back further. Trust me.
Went back further. I went back further. I was just showing them that I didn't have to really go back that far to say that I'm not from Africa. 'Cause I know I'm not from Africa.
There you go.
My grandparents never said I was from Africa, and my grandmother got mad at me when I told her that. She said, "We ain't from no motherfucking Africa," and she said that, and she got mad.
Ain't that what all grandma? We ain't from no mother. Who the fuck told you that? And that's exactly how they talk.
She got real mad. She was like, "I ain't from no motherfucking Africa. My grandma ain't from no Africa. We from here." She was like, "They tried to buy us out, and we wasn't with it." So so that's what happened. They started
And
to take over.
my daddy and my grandmother told me I was Cherokee. I'm Indian. Ain't say nothing about no NA. Ain't say nothing about no fucking Africa. None of that. None of that.
That's what they want us to believe, that we from Africa. They
So
feel
all
like
the 16 generations was the African. What are you talking about, Sam?
Africa ain't even 80 years old. The word.
Actually, Africa is only 110 years old. They got their name in 1914.
Can I respond to Darvin?
Yeah, look, what do you mean by 12 to 16 generations? Like what?
I think they should all go to Africa before they speak on it.
That's what I'm saying.
Respond to Darvin?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, I'm trying to hear this. I need to hear this.
Perfect. Again, like I said earlier, I do believe that melanated people were on these land masses, the Americas, before Columbus or whatever settlers got here. How long? I do not know. So hold on 1 second, I'm not finished.
Nope, I said 41 trillion years ago.
I'm not invalidating the experience, the history or the ancestral history on this landmass of Black people or melanated people who consider themselves to be American Indian. However, I will not go as far as to say that the transatlantic slave trade did not occur, nor will I go as far as to say that that slavery in America wasn't real. I can't believe or didn't happen. Or whatever, I don't know if it was your seat goddess or the Mother Matrix lady, whichever one of y'all said that challenged me and others on this platform or on this panel to say,
I ain't challenging nobody.
Produce a slave?
I ain't challenging nobody. I got the paperwork to prove it.
Hold on 1 second, Sam.
I'm done.
You said 12 to 16 generations is the African, right?
I have the paperwork.
Hold on.
Not everybody.
Hold on 1 second. One second. You said 12. No, you said that shit. Like what you said in the comments, like you got to deal with 12 to 16 generations is the African.
I just
I'm gonna speak
meant.
on. Hold on, sir. I'm speaking right now. What I was about to say is, Pocahontas is my 15th great, not even 15th, 13th great ancestor. That's 15 generations right there.
Facts.
Did I invalidate?
And that hold on, why do y'all like let me land, yo? Like, God damn. I know I be pausing and stuff, because I be trying to gather my thoughts, right? But damn, what was I about to say? I almost lost my train of thought. That's my 15th great ancestor. That's in the 1500s. 12 to 16 generations can lead you back to like the 1500s, maybe sometimes the 1600s, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, that being said, depending how young or old your family is, right? Once again, Manchild keeps spamming watch rules. Let me mute him. He keeps spamming that shit. That's like the 5th time I've seen that. Oh, snap. Hold on. Not Mark. I accidentally marked him. Let me mute him. But yeah, folks gotta find that for themselves. 15 to 16 generations, right? That could be someone, if it is an African, that could be someone, you said 12 to 16. If that is someone from Africa, that's someone from like the White Lion. That's 1619 Project. The White Lion, John Punts.
Yep.
Who else? They say came over here, like other people that came to the 13 colonies, right?
Yep.
That's 12 to 16 generations. They have names. They're outlanded there.
Mm-hmm. And then the people that came here, did they have names?
No,
I don't know.
a lot of them
No, they
have
were
names.
given their
But I was
names.
gonna.
Thank you.
I'm sorry. I was just gonna ask him.
Go ahead.
So, where did the transatlantic slave trade story come from? Let me fix this picture. Because I hear his
theory
talk
bullshit.
Get them. It was told to you in reverse. It was told to you in reverse. That's what y'all don't do.
Just
Oh,
like
he dropped.
That's the thing about it. It's a
everything,
theory.
just like everything else has
Yep.
been told
He dropped
in
down.
reverse.
Why did he drop down?
I don't know. Maybe his phone died or something.
Well, Darvin, you and my daughter are cousins through that Pocahontas line.
And me and your daughter is cousins as well. And me and
Oh,
Darvin
okay.
is cousins as well because Pocahontas is my 10th generation great grandmother, Queen Kokowaski, is Pocahontas's first cousin.
Yep.
And I got the paperwork on that as well.
And see that I've already I came to this conclusion for the simple fact that you know what I'm saying, for it to be some real royals and the story and narrative that we've got there, like this little fake little quasi royalty, how they're all related in incest. You see what I'm saying? But we're actually related just through the magnitude of our bloodlines and how long we've been. It was like you have no choice to kind of be related. You know what I'm saying? To almost everybody.
Darvin, hold on, my bad, Darvin. Can you bring me back?
All right, I'll bring you. I'll drop
Is
you.
it fucking with me? All right.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
But
All right.
yes, a lot of people don't know that it was told to you in reverse. The trade was told to you in reverse. They reversed everything on you.
And so, and with that little reversal, we're gonna deal with the reversal energy. If you wasn't a slave, you must have been the landlords or the real masters. Because when they want to run around talking about, oh, y'all got the master's last name, and actually, like, y'all actually got our last name because all of y'all came over from England trying to change y'all shit. Let's talk about it.
Last name comes back from 1205.
Yep.
Thank y'all for the follows.
Let's start with
Marcus
a prime
Garvey,
example of y'all's name change conspiracy. Little is y'all know that Coach Bill Belichick? See, that's an anglicized. That's an anglicized version of Belichi. But see, they didn't want to give themselves straight up with these names sounding all crazy, coming over here and trying to, you know what I'm saying, assimilate. So Bill Belichick's actually like a German or Italian name, Belichi, or some shit like that. See, all y'all, all of them, and then just you can see where they come from and how
less time at your family when we do the genealogy for us, we can do it for y'all too, Bill Belichick. So when the records reflect that y'all just got over here in the early 1900s, I mean, that's your immigration story. You know what I'm saying? Your grandfather came over here in the early 1900s. How are you coming over here? You know what I'm saying? Get to the point where unless you're you know what I'm saying, connected to some society, be able to, you know what I'm saying, be in a position to make the moves that you're making in this whole realm of things. Just as a newcomer, it just amazes me. All these latter day Saint American names and families, like y'all are new. Yep.
You can't let the odds know everything. Yeah, I agree, Neji. That's all I'll be saying too much. That's all I'll be saying too much. I can talk about a lot of shit.
I'm sorry, Darvin. Was that Neji I was replying to?
Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
No, a guy going off on me about the
I'm
Neji
getting no
thing,
sources.
but,
I'm asking for. Well, come up here, 11. What sources are you asking for?
Who's
The crazy thing about it is somebody say can't let the house know
who said
everything.
the
A lot of
slave
the
trade?
information is public information.
Yeah, it is. But who said the slave trade was in reverse? Because I think that people don't understand that thousands and thousands of our people from the Americas were sent over to Europe, North Africa, West Africa, and Central Africa. And they just don't know that information, and they're going with that old, regurgitated indoctrination that they learned. But a lot of our people were sent over there, and a lot of our people were brought back under quote unquote African slavery.
You asked for the information where she was connected to Pocahontas through our family. That's the information.
Yep.
If you ain't, and I can shit. I'm a state above where she's from. Literally a state above where she's from.
It's through the lineage. So y'all don't know about lineage,
right?
Because y'all don't have an aged line. See how we can just flip that whole word, and it can mean something on a whole different level. That's how our stuff is aged. Our bloodlines are aged over here. Let's talk about it.
I was about to say I'm still in the territory. I want to look up, but they don't know what. No, it's like nah. Folks ain't give you all the sauce no more.
Let them know their
Like,
ancestors ain't guiding them then, because if you talking about you don't know what to look up, your ancestors guide you to what to, you know what I'm saying, do the research on. Do the research on your family, baby. That's who. Wow.
It'll take you back to your childhood when you was eavesdropping on the grown folks and kind of overheard a conversation, but just didn't have no details at the time. But you can vividly remember the scenario and
so y'all not
you know what I'm saying, ones that was involved, and it all plays a part. But you gotta have
we
that.
we already said. Hold on. I was about to say we didn't already said. I already said this multiple times. I didn't shown I'm connected to her. I've shown this shit plenty of times. I'm not going out my way to do that shit no more.
They want you to know.
No, every time you present your genealogy, they do nothing but dismiss and deny it anyway. So I stopped sharing my genealogy completely because of that. Like, I don't have time. I have something pinned on my page, but that's all you're gonna see. I have a very vast, long history here on our land, and I'm just not gonna share it anymore because no matter how much you share, they're gonna deny it.
Yep.
And I'm still.
I totally agree. Like I said, I got land patterns. Okay, that's what my PTR picture is. It's a whole land pattern, coordinates, latitude and longitude of my, you know what I'm saying, of some stuff that is alloidial. So y'all don't know nothing about those terms.
I got a question.
This is my land in perpetuity.
Go ahead. All American.
I think that 11 may be genuinely asking because, like, I'm not as deep into the receipts as y'all. I just know like what I've been able to look up on my own over the past however many years I've been interested. But I knew my grandma told me, and my mother told me, and my great grandparents told me on both sides. Like, I know who my people are, but some people need help starting that journey, and I think that she may be asking for that genuinely. Like, I know we be up in arms like thinking that people trying to be funny all the time, but she looks like one of us. Like, she might be, you see her skin tone, like she look a little red. She look like she may genuinely want to know where should she start.
It's too many. It's too many. It's too many. Hold on. It's too many others in here. No.
The only thing, the easiest thing I could tell her to do that won't, you know what I'm saying, is start doing the research and start with yourself. And all you got to do is do the research on the city, state, and county that you were born in. Okay? Once you do that, then you do the research on the city, state, and county before it became the city, state, and county. All right? Then you do the same thing with your parents. And then you do the same thing with your grandparents. And you just keep going until you get stuck. Okay? That's all.
Yeah,
That's how
and
I
then
started.
it's like most people like, cause I'm a stater, but my folks are from Virginia myself. But yeah, you get folks gotta do their genie. Most records are in person. I'll
Yep.
take time, but it will come to you. But yeah, most records are in person, right? I know information that people don't even know about Pocahontas.
Me too.
Like just because I'm able to go to the places that she's at, where she lived at.
Yeah.
I'm still a part of the rivers that that she traveled upon and shit like that. There's a lot of things I can speak about, but I don't because people are too disingenuous. And we got big audiences and stuff like that. And I'm not giving, like Nietzsche said, we ain't gotta give everybody the sauce right now. Things like that. So if we're coming off like we don't really want to show nothing or teach per se, it's for reasons.
Have you guys been down south in North Carolina? There's
Yes.
a town called Henderson, North Carolina.
Mm.
You heard of Hendersonville?
Yeah, because I told you that's my people's last name.
Yes. So I'm from that. Well, my parents, my great great grandfather was from Hendersonville.
Okay.
And he was a slave to a white man, and he took the name Henderson. Of course, he was from Africa. And
He did not take his name. I'm trying to tell you that was not that white man's name. I'm trying to tell you.
he was from Hendersonville, North Carolina.
But it
and
don't
he was
matter.
white.
It don't matter. That
he
was
had
not
been
that
a
white
slave
man's name. I'm
before
trying
that.
to tell you. I'm a Henderson, okay? That's not his name. That's a stolen name. He stole that from us. We didn't get that name from him.
Okay.
People from the caves and all that and test tubes, you can't get. They didn't have no names. This is what I'm trying to get you to understand. If you please don't disrespect the Henderson
How
name
come
like that.
my great grandmother was
because
named
that last name is
Mabel
not a
Henderson?
slavery name.
Her
I'm
name
sorry.
was Mabel Henderson.
Okay.
My great 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 grandmother was named Henderson.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I mean,
my people's. Hey, I told you.
right.
Let me tell you what. Do you even know what Henderson means?
I know
It
it's a
means
Scottish
coming
name.
in.
It's a
No, it
Scottish
means-
name.
Exactly. And who were the real Scots? Do you know who the real Scots were?
They was white tea people. I
No,
know
they
that
were
they
not.
wasn't
They
black.
were melanated people. No, they
They
were
was white
melanated
tea.
people, baby.
And
They
I
were
had
melanated
that.
people.
And look how light I am.
No. It ain't got nothing to do with it. They were melanated people because you can see how red I am. They were melanated people. They were not no chicken nuggets. I got the proof, baby. I told you. I did the genealogy. That's how I know the information about the Scots, not the people, the Scottish, the Scots.
You just dropped something right there when you said the Scots, not the Scottish.
Exactly. Know the difference.
No, and know the play
And
when everybody
Henderson
knows
is a
that
Scottish name.
when
Henderson
somebody
is
when somebody
Scottish.
No,
when
it's not a
somebody throws-
Scottish name. It was Scots.
Whenever somebody throws that ish behind something, it's suspect.
Let me tell you something. What is the prefix? I mean, a suffix ish means. It means sort of, kind of, not pure, wannabe. They're not the real people. But let me tell you who the Scots are. The Scots are the Phoenician Hebrew, which was melanated peoples. That's why it's called Scotland. That's why it's called England. That's why it's called Ireland. All the places was already over here before we took them over there to Europe.
That part, the Irish. That's how you got Irish.
The Irie. Okay,
The
that's how
Irie.
Billy said the Irie. Okay,
That
and he said the
Henderson name
Scots,
is
not the Scottish.
Nah,
England was
that
already
Henderson-
over here.
That's all.
Scotland. That's why we got 19 Scotlands over here today, because the original Scotland was over here. That's
facts.
why we got
And
7 Irelands today over here, because Ireland was over here. Italy over here. Originally over here.
Rome
They were
over here.
melanated peoples.
Rome over here.
And
Was
when
that
you
before
think about
1776? Was that
Way
before
before
1776?
1776, bruh. That's what I'm trying to
But
tell
look,
you.
Hey Andre, when you think about Henderson, think about King Henry.
Exactly, because that's my peoples. That's who we related to. The King Henrys, which was melanated. The Tudors,
And
melanated.
Henderson means Henry's son. I know that.
Exactly,
My last name
from the
means
King Henry, and
means-
they wasn't no chicken nuggets.
Chicken nugget people don't even have Henrys until late.
I said they infiltrated our history. We the real kings and queens. Over
Hey,
here, we got those family crests. Go to our last names. And let me ask you this: do you think that there are chicken nuggets out here that gave you the last name Jenkins and Watkins? Man, please.
No. And Jones.
Those
Smith,
are our names.
And Wallace. You know, I mean,
Yeah, no, they gonna be
Jackson,
coming
no.
with the Shalakoviches and the Sharakadikoviches and shit like that.
Where does Jackson come from? And Smith.
Jackson, no, yeah,
bro. Jackson
Smith comes from
is
blacksmith.
translate Jackson.
If you got the last name.
Yep.
Bro, Jackson is like almost like Yahweh because there wasn't
And
no
the right.
J's.
Right,
So we
come
go
from
back. We
Wheelwright.
go back further than the 1500s. So you
I
have
was
to
about to
take that
say.
into account as well.
If you were Smith, that means you were the son of the blacksmith.
Right, exactly. Hey, you
What?
know what I was Darvid, you know what I was thinking earlier? I just had a download, right? About Dr. Umar. You know his real name
Oh,
is
Lord.
Jermaine Shoemaker, right?
Yeah, he is the son of the shoemakers.
Oh, he is
Right,
Shoemaker?
exactly. But wait a minute. We only know people Jermaine as being melanated, right? Do you know any chicken nugget people with the name Jermaine?
Hell no.
Okay, right. But take the I out. And what does it say?
German.
German shoemaker. Because who were the real Germans?
Swampy people.
Exactly. Thank you.
Hey, look,
They even say Ben Franklin even said that shit in
We
the
the real
1700s.
Germans over here because Germany was over here as well. That's why we got 7 of them. Don't play with me.
Now, if we go Mecklenburg County, because Mecklenburg, right, is a German house as well. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? Even looking into Duke itself, you know, because the Duke was over here. You feel me? And
That's right.
that's what
1915.
Charlotte-
I got the statue of him.
Right, that's what Charlotte, like Charlotte father was that Duke. You know what I'm saying?
His name was Duke Carl Edgewaard, and he was of Saxe Coburg and Gotha. Then I got the Coburg family crest. It's a melanated person on that family crest. Don't play with me. I do this. I've been doing this for years.
Wootons. I found a like a 8th grade grandfather last name Wooten. That goes back to a family crest, and I think England's got a family crest. Whole nigga with a fro on the crest.
Yep.
Those big lips. It's undeniable. But like I said, that's the one thing that I've realized that they usurp too. It's all about the image and the likeness.
Facts. Well,
And
this
when-
how,
and
this
when-
how I
and
like
when
to
you-
look at
and
it,
see,
right?
and when I look those words up in the dictionary, that hits a little harder. So when you done define image and then you define likeness, now
Want y'all
now
to come up here.
you can further understand the whole play with everybody, all of them. You see what I'm saying?
Hey, look, so I feel you with that because this is how I look at it too. When we look at motherfuckers like Blackbeard, for example, naming his boat, you know what I'm saying? Queen Anne Revenge. The first thing I think about is why the hell would Queen Anne need revenge? You know what I'm saying? And not only that, right? We also come to find out that it wasn't just one Queen Anne.
Right.
That would mean revenge. You know what I'm saying? It was a Queen Anne here and it was a Queen Anne over there type shit. But just imagine like how you would have with the Scottish, a Dutch or the Duchess, you know what I'm saying, represented as the Queen, and then it would be labeled as, how can I say it, Regina in a way if we was looking at Latin language, you know what I'm saying, or Latin titles. You feel me? So they would be the same title, but just listed as different names in those different areas of rulership, right? Right? So just thinking about Anne herself, you know what I'm saying? Just things like that, showing how, okay, the family crest itself ties into not only your coat of arms. So now folks got to ponder on the question when it comes down to the right to bear arms, who was that Second Amendment really fucking for? If you already had those arms established.
Talk about it.
All right. What's up, Venus?
Hey. They don't really know what an African American is because I don't know if y'all saw Sinners with that Haley Steinfeld girl. She's
I ain't
basically
seen Sinners.
in the movie. She's basically an octoroon. She's an octoroon in real life too. So that means her great grandpa was half black or something. And they're saying she's not African American. But if an African American is someone who's a descendant of slavery in the USA, a black person, then she would literally be an African American. It doesn't matter if she's mixed. She's a descendant of that, so she would be an African American. But they're all telling her that she's a white woman. So I don't understand.
All right, we got news silence. We over here.
They all claim they have mixed ancestry, but they hate mixed people.
Yeah, we got news silent up here.
That's a mulatto. Octoroon, that's like that's only the second generation. Yeah.
I mean, you have a great
That's one of the great, but that's one of the great
Her great grandparent was half black.
Okay,
that's not probably not even an octoroon. That's probably like a goddamn.
That's what I was just about to break down.
They call me that mulatto.
The numbers that
the white tea blood in you.
Darvin,
Black, but you have mulatto in you. Mulatto, yes.
Mulatto really was.
Look at me.
Tell me, I don't know. It ain't about looking at you.
All black.
Tell them what mulatto really means, because
Indian. Mulatto means Indian.
Mulatto ain't the same thing as a mestizo, and a mestizo is the same thing as a coyote.
Right. Mulatto doesn't have to be YT exactly, Tabitha. I was about to say. They could be Indian mixed with another Indian.
Because the concept of race, black and white, doesn't exist. I'm talking about how they saying she's not African American, but then they're saying African American is a descendant of slavery of a black person. So she would be an African American then. These people are confused
about the type of black person that was in slavery. You know what I'm saying? So
you guys know where her parents are from?
There they go.
I mean, like the slavery towns is basically your great grandparents.
No,
don't mean any. African American don't mean anything either because they be calling Indians. They be calling Indian slaves African American. So clearly, don't mean nothing either.
I mean, and it's trademark.
Right. And I want to say, like, when people say that a person, right, who parents come from Africa, it's like, what country?
Right.
You get what I'm saying? And then, okay, I get it, American. So what it would be? A Ghana American?
I just call them just Africans because they ain't even American.
No, I'm just saying. But what I'm saying is, it's still a misnomer. You know what I'm saying? Even the way.
Oh man, these dogs gonna shut up.
Back to their original names because all the names were there ain't even theirs.
Goods and services equals African Americans. What we wrong about, Chef?
Talking about Sierra Leone. What person in Africa do you know named Sierra? Like
and Leone.
Right.
Yeah, the first U.S.
or Leon. The first place labor in Sierra was right here in America.
The first U.S. ambassador for Sierra Leone was American from North Carolina. You know what I'm saying?
They have a Sierra, North Carolina, actually.
There's nobody in Africa named Ashanti. There's nobody in Africa named Kenya or whatever these names they keep trying to claim come from over there. Like,
I'm so glad that you mentioned it because a lot of people don't even know that the African countries' names are indigenous to America. That's wild.
Right.
Like
we can give you the dates that the towns and the countries were founded as well.
Also, they don't know that the word Africa actually came from the word America.
Damn, who's smoking?
Yeah, y'all want to sponsor. Y'all see, y'all needed a sponsor. That's what y'all do. Y'all getting American Indian is y'all sponsor worldwide. Even the little nigglets over there, and they think that's Grand Dubai. We sponsored that as well.
But again,
so everybody can stop acting with this fake sense of grandeur when we're sponsoring all of y'all's activities.
It was from the word America. Did y'all know that?
They was
You
claiming
said what?
Japanese
I think
words.
the word Africa came from the word
Wait.
America. Did y'all know that?
I know. I have a
She wrote that
European.
down yesterday.
I have a
Yeah.
European on my tree. Her first name is Africa. Her name's Africa Durden, and she was born in England. So
Yeah, but the
Yeah,
word
this-
Africa came from the word America. If y'all didn't know that.
No, it's wild.
New England is old England. So let's do a spelling bee since nobody, you know what I'm saying. But you know you spell the word America America, right? And of
Right.
course, you know what those chicken nuggets do. They rearrange letters, take them out, put them in. So what they did was they took out the ME and put in the F. So now you got Africa, AF, where the ME used to be, RICA. I mean, it's common sense, baby.
Africa. That's
Yes.
what.
Hey, look.
Ivory. Ivory comes from
Right.
ivory.
Okay,
Okay, which is got its ivory, which is ivory is Europa too.
Yep. And also at the same time, Charles also means free. So when we hear things like Carolina or Carolus, we saying free man, like a free man. Even Charlotte ties back to Charles and says or means free man.
I mean, we even got what is it? What is it called? Yes, Yasmin.
Is the people just coming? Is people? Well, you can speak. Like
Oh,
if y'all
Jamaje.
don't agree,
My bad.
I was if people don't agree, they can speak. Dang, I was just trying to find a hop in the conversation. Well, you should have said something. Hold on. All right, I'll bring you back up. Like, then hop in the conversation. Oh, I'm gonna rotate people out. Go ahead. It's on you.
Hey there, everyone. I was just gonna ask, like, what happened? Like, how did?
Well,
If you're
first
out
of all,
there
where you
spon-
from? Where you from?
I'm from Texas.
Texas. Where your parents from?
They're from Texas and like North Carolina.
Where your grandparents from?
My grandma is from Germany, and then my grandpa was born here.
What was born here mean?
He was born in Montana.
Montana. Okay, where his parents from?
I don't know where his parents are from.
Well, shit, what you got? What your German ass got to do with this conversation?
Oh, I was just trying to ask, like
No.
when she
What
said,
you
like,
got to do with this conversation?
I was just hearing some like kind of crazy stuff, and I just wanted to ask some questions about it.
No. What do you have to do with this conversation?
That's what I had to do with
No,
this
no, no.
conversation. What do you mean?
No, what you got to do with this conversation between Americans? You're from Germany.
Oh, I am from America.
no, you're
No,
not.
you're not.
No.
What do you mean?
No, you're not. Mm-mm.
Grandparent is
You're,
How
you're
do you
from
not
Germany.
know
You're
your
from Germany.
grandparent, your grandpa's parents, and then you said your grandparent was from Germany? That's not America.
Yeah, you from Germany. So
Oh,
what's your
I mean, I have
German?
an ancestor that came here in like 1620.
16,
Where
12.
you
That don't mean nothing. That's immigrant.
And y'all
Where
are
you
from here?
Yep.
Where you from in Germany?
It's like South Germany. Well, that's where my grandma's from, or my mom's family.
Okay, so hey, Darvid, let me tell you something. When he said he didn't know where his grandfather's parents came from, you already know what that is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that Cabbage Patch? Is that giving Cabbage Patch Kid or?
Let's give it. Yeah, you got Alice Islander for sure. Mm-hmm.
German Frank.
Like, your ancestry's not from here. How would you know what we're saying is outlandish now if your ancestry doesn't even come from here?
Exactly. Can you name?
How do you know? How do you know y'all?
Hold
are from
on,
here?
one second. Can you name 5 tribes east of the Mississippi?
The Karankawa, the Comanche, the Kiowas.
That's east of the. Is Texas east of the Mississippi?
Comanche not east of the
Oh, west of the Mississippi. I'm sorry.
East. I said east.
Oh, east. The Iroquois,
Iroquois is a
the
language.
Apache, the Cherokee.
Apache is west of the
Well,
Mississippi.
Tribe either, that's a nation.
Yeah, Cherokee.
The Shawnee. The Haudenosaunee.
That's not a tribe. That's a people. That's a language. That's a
You know
language.
about the Haudenosaunee?
I know about the Haudenosaunee. That's not a tribe. That's a language.
What is a tribe then?
Yeah,
What's a tribe then?
The
What?
Haudenosaunee are a confederation that's made up of different tribes. Name a tribe from the Haudenosaunee.
Right.
The Onondaga.
You got the
Who?
Oh, okay, the Onondaga.
Y'all ever heard of the
All right,
Onondaga?
name the other. Yeah, name the other 5.
Oh, I'm not an expert in native tribes.
Oh shit. Well, shit. What do you
Will
got to do
that
with this
prove
conversation
anything?
then?
Ain't no natives
Yeah,
up
because
here.
Well,
you don't know
well,
shit.
y'all aren't.
Yeah, that would prove something. You don't know shit.
Because y'all aren't native.
Yeah,
here.
you don't know shit.
Y'all
Hold
aren't
on.
native.
All right, y'all. 1 second. So, I can name. So why can't you tell me the other 5 nations of the Haudenosaunee? What does Haudenosaunee mean?
Is that like people of the Longhouse?
People that meet at the Longhouse. Yes. What do they do at the Longhouse?
Like that's where they would have like their little like tribal meetings and like kind of form their little tribal governments.
Wow, they're little.
They're little. What else they do at the Longhouse?
I don't know.
Well, shit. Why y'all know so? Why y'all hop in conversation y'all know so little about?
Well, wait.
No,
But you
ain't no
know
way.
about them?
Yeah, yeah, I know
You know
about them. I can.
means you're native?
Hold on, knowing about like okay, what language is the correct one I speak? Since you're in Texas.
The Karankawa?
Yeah.
The
What language?
Karankawa?
What language they speak?
Oh, I don't know what language they spoke.
What? You don't even know about the tribes where you live at. You didn't even take
Knowing
the time
that-
to live. Yeah, you
Knowing
even,
that makes you native?
no, I
knowing
didn't
that
say
makes you
no.
native?
Like no, that doesn't mean.
Well, then why are you
that-
asking me?
No, you don't even know about the tribes in your state.
Here they go.
So how the fuck you in this conversation? You don't even
Here
give
it
a fuck.
comes.
Y'all know you don't even give a fuck enough to look up the tribes in your area.
Oh, but I'm not a Native American. I mean, I'm not
So what the
researching.
fuck you got to do with this conversation that can pertain to Americans?
Nothing.
Knowing about them makes you a Native American?
No, I ain't got. I ain't. No, hold on. I can tell you the tribes I come from. But I don't give a fuck to tell you. I can speak
Does
the
that mean-
language
does
too.
that
I don't
make
give
you
a.
them?
Yeah.
Does that
it's
make you them?
Yes. If I descend from them people, what that think? What you think?
How are you descended from them?
What do you? What? How are babies made?
Well, when
I know how
a man
babies
and a
are
woman
made.
love each other very much, you know.
They.
But you're saying. But you're saying that if you know about them.
No,
or
no,
that
you
if-
know, no. I said I asked you if you knew about them, cause so you can at least have a conversation about them, right? Right.
You did. You were
So-
trying to like
No,
do
no, no.
trivia on me.
Yeah. You wanted to come up and ask us questions, so I decided to ask you questions instead.
Okay.
You
Ask
see-
away.
Yeah. No, yeah, I'm trying to. Yeah, I see what you trying to play mental gymnastics, but I'm a king at this. So with that being said, reverse psychology 101. We're witnessing that right now. So
Right.
with that being said,
Did you have ancestors here like 1400s?
do you have ancestors here in the 1400s?
No, I never
Where was,
claimed.
your, where was your ancestors at in the 1400s?
Oh, my ancestors from Europe and then they came here.
Oh, okay. They were forever in Europe and they came here. What year they come here again?
I had an ancestor like 1620.
1620. What state they landed in? Which colony did they land in? My bad.
They were in New Jersey.
In New Jersey.
New Jersey.
New
They was in New
Jersey.
Jersey. Yeah, they was in New Jersey. What? In 1620? New Jersey wasn't even a fucking state in 1620.
No countries were states. What do you mean states?
No, that wasn't even a fucking colony in 1620. When was Germany founded? It was founded in 1787. So how the fuck they pull up in Jersey? Jersey ain't exist in 1620.
Yeah, Germany was 1870, right? But you're talking about the area.
1787. Jersey wasn't established until 1787. So where the
Established as what? Established as what? A
as a
colony?
state or no?
As
It
a
wasn't.
state?
It wouldn't be a colony
Uh-oh.
since the United
one?
States was. Hold on, it wouldn't be a colony since it's after 1776. 1787 is 11 years after 1776. If you ain't know the math. So with that being said, how they pull up to Jersey in 1620? It wasn't that. What was it called before it was New Jersey?
What was the boat called that they came over on?
Oh, I don't know that part of trivia.
Oh shit!
Trivia.
Damn, you don't even know about your goddamn family.
Oh wow.
What city did your where did y'all where did your ancestors live?
Right
Was
here.
they anywhere
Right
from
here.
Where's right here?
Right here.
Look, was they
Right here.
anywhere
What's right here?
Northwest?
Alabama,
Right here?
Virginia, Mississippi, Arkansas, Ohio. Yeah, yeah. Right.
They're
right
from
here.
all.
Mhm.
They're from everywhere.
No,
Yeah,
that's
we don't
we
do
from
incest
everywhere.
like y'all. We don't
USA.
hunch on our cousins like y'all. So
Yeah,
obviously they're gonna be from different states and
Everywhere in the
tribes.
USA.
Obviously they're gonna be from different states and tribes because we don't hunch on our cousins like y'all. So
Right.
Y'all came from like a bunch of different countries.
Get it right.
Hold on, he's trying to learn from. Nah, he ain't trying to learn from us. You ain't see him in the comments. He ain't trying to learn nothing.
You're bashing him.
you don't
Yeah,
even know
exactly.
your
Hold on,
Yes.
one second. He came up here to ask us a bunch of questions, like he an interrogator or
Yeah.
something. So
You
I'm
don't
asking him a bunch of questions instead.
You don't even know your European heritage. You admitted you don't know where your European ancestors are from outside of Germany. Like you don't even know your European heritage is the easiest to track. Like that's embarrassing.
What do you mean?
A lot
What they need to learn? What does he need to learn?
They need to learn that we're good people and we're not the stupid people that they
We
think
don't
that
give a
they
shit
motherfuckers
about
are.
the road.
Okay, y'all. So Chef Ithia,
We don't give a
she was
shit
hold
about
on,
that.
hold on, y'all. Hold on, y'all. Hold on,
I
y'all.
was about to say, you about-
What
is
is hold on,
Hold on.
y'all. Because Chef was in another
I
live. Chef
am
was
a
in
good-
another live
What?
she was saying that we need to learn from Africans and we don't have nothing without Africans. And then she was saying she's a Black American, but people in the comments saying she was actually Cuban. So she was in another live kissing up to Africans, saying that we don't own shit, saying that we need to learn
Man,
from
you really-
saying that we need to learn from Africans and how the white man owns all of our stuff. We have to get off of our high horse. We have to get off of our high. Hello, I'm a moderator here, so you can keep on muting yourself. I'm just keep muting you. I'm just keep muting you. She was saying we need to learn from Africans and how we have nothing without Africa. We need to come together with Africans. She said we bullied Africans in high school. She said we're nothing without Africans. She said we need to take. She said we need to come together with Africans to get the white man out the country. We have nothing without Africa. That's what she said. She said we take all the resources from Africa. She was on a live meat munching hard as hell.
God damn, you thought she was munching. What?
Yes,
Hello?
I need to lie like you.
Oh, hold on, one second. I was about to say, how we bully?
You do,
Hold on.
baby. You hate
I know, I'm pretty young.
She was gonna come up here. She thought she was
Hold on,
gonna
one
come up
second.
here and
One
try
mic on me, yo.
and be friendly with us. Get up in here.
One mic on me, yo. I was about to say, we ain't bully. Hold on. One second, yo. One second. Miss Chef, for 1 second.
Martial law come and get your ass.
Oh my gosh. Martial law. Hello? Who's coming to get us?
Oh wow.
1 second. I'm trying to speak now. I was about to say, how we? I know I'm pretty young, right?
Oh wow.
And even I could say, how have we bullied Africans in high school? There's only like 2 of them in my high school. It's like 2 of them. But with that being said, what was I even saying? Yeah, like news. Yeah, but news. Martial law. Like, can you relax, man? Like, I had to do this not yes,
Martial
other
law
day.
does not have a
Oh
culture.
my gosh.
If
Oh
you
my
look-
gosh. Oh my gosh. Are you done?
Yeah, you're going to get locked
You about to
up.
get about
Here, stop
you about to
interrupting the
get
host.
like, yeah, can you relax? Like, goddamn.
Wow.
But yeah, we back to you, New Silent. So what does conversation got to do with you again?
Oh, because I don't think y'all are actually like Native American.
So, but you're not actually
Not Native American.
You don't know shit. You don't even know shit.
I'm not claiming
Hold
to
on.
be though.
1 second.
I'm not claiming to be though.
One second. I got this, y'all. So, what question I was about to ask you next? You don't even know how many tribes are in the United States in total.
The exact number I don't know. I'm guessing there's a whole lot.
Yeah, historically. Yeah. Take a guess.
I'm guessing there's probably like thousands with over the.
Yeah, thousands. Cool. Thousands. Can you name? Yeah.
Which one you belong to?
The Scalpaho tribe.
Can you speak that language?
Yeah. Scalp. Aho.
Can you speak it?
Ishkish Pataka. Mitabukampo Kwak.
Rude by on your panel, man. Now I said he
Like,
want to on.
Keep going the conversation in that language.
Yama Anakpali.
No.
I don't understand patois. Did you not understand?
Yeah. Yama Anakpali.
No. Phrases. You're saying phrases.
I want him
Talk.
to translate what he's saying. Go ahead and translate.
Yeah,
since you know
translate
so
what
much
I'm
about
saying.
Indian
I'm not
language.
claiming I speak it though. I'm not claiming.
You
I
asked him
I'm
if he
speaking,
speaks it, so you should be able to translate it. You must ask him that 'cause
translate it.
What language
know
do you
it.
speak? What language do you speak?
What language? Hold on. Speak German for me real quick.
Oh, I don't speak German because I'm American.
Oh, why don't you speak German? Huh?
Oh, because I have My family's
Because he
been in
hates his
America.
ancestors.
Because you don't like
I know a little. I know a
you
little.
got
I know
something. You got,
phrases. I know some
yeah,
phrases like
you
you.
know some phrases. Yeah, introduce yourself in German right now.
Ich bin nur silent loyalties.
What?
Ich bin.
No loyalty.
You ain't got
Ich
no
bin
loyalty.
nur
You ain't loyal to
silent
nobody.
loyalty.
Right.
He's having a
Ich
good. He's
bin.
having a good time wasting. No, I'm
Du,
wasting his time because he's
du
not
bist schwule.
he's not getting what he wants out of us.
Du bist schwule.
Stupid
Why
shit.
yeah, well, I'm
You're
trying to yeah, but
speaking Simlish.
All right, y'all.
yeah.
Let's just all take our time and like you know.
See,
listen
I
on
know
the
little
outside.
phrases like you
You
do
don't hear
too,
me
but I can't
talking.
speak German.
First of all, your history is so mixed up. Can you just mute up for a second? That's weird. We don't care what you believe, think, or feel about who he is. But on the outside looking in, it's a lot of, you know what I'm saying, it's hard to hear it from the over talking. Go ahead, Charles.
Yeah, I was about to say, I was just asking a question because I'm about to drop him soon because he ain't got no bit. Like he ain't tell us why he need to be here. Why you need to be here?
I was just trying to ask who renamed Africa. I heard that.
I
I
don't
thought
know.
it was interesting.
Where does Africa come from?
It look like you.
But like who?
What was the first? What was the?
I did.
What was
I
the?
said it looked like you. I didn't say you did it.
Who did?
I've been from
People
Germany.
look like you.
But like who? What's her name?
Who's name?
Let me tell you what she's trying to say. What she's trying to say is the people who are labeled as Africans look like you.
Thank you. Get ready. Yeah, I was about to say it's time. Yeah, he ain't overstayed his welcome.
Right.
I don't even know that part of the trivia. Yeah, that shit was hilarious. I don't even know that part of the trivia. Like you didn't get what you wanted out of us. So
You said scalper try. I mean scalper hoe try.
yeah, from the scalp hole.
But you know what the sad part about that is? It's like the whole time people they still don't get the reason why we're asking them who they are. It's like, how could you not know who you is but trying to tell us who you think we are? But go ahead.
The Romans did. The Romans ain't named Africa.
He did. Go look it up.
What tribe is it based? Hold on, what tribe is it based out of?
Right.
Based off them.
They're not tribes. They're not the
You said
Europe,
what?
Europe has no tribes. White people don't
I'm
have
talking about in
tribes.
Africa. I'm talking about in Africa. What was the name? What was Africa based off of? What tribe was they based off of?
What tribe? From what do you mean? What tribe? It wasn't called
the
Africa
Afar,
before.
the Afri, it's Africa.
Yeah, maybe if I lived in Africa, that would be nice. But right
It's
now,
not that hard to
I'm
find. Hold on,
focusing on my black people
not-
and trying to get them together.
It's not that.
before
It's not that
martial
hard,
law.
man.
Hold on.
Man.
Like, what the fuck?
Man. Like, yeah, I was about to say, like, I'm
Shit,
trying
we
to
can
ask.
have a dialogue, but getting smart and all that, like I get it. She got a lot to say because there was a lot of allegations and stuff like that being said. Just take your time, okay?
Yeah,
Go ahead,
okay.
host.
I know y'all. I know New Yorkers like to go 100 miles per hour, but you can slow down.
Oh, okay. Maybe that's what it is. I do talk very fast. Okay.
Y'all like to go. Come up. You should blast the Britannians. Yeah, I'm trying to see Big Bag come in here so I can play the Big Bag song.
Okay. Can we not see? That's what I'm saying. Like we're all
I'm
one.
trying to-
Why do we have to talk like we are
We
like,
all-
beyond our feet
Ain't
or
nobody.
something? Like, we're
Hold on.
special
People,
ed.
if we all want, people need to start acting like it. Start. Do you tell this to YT people?
But we don't want to be.
No.
Yes, I am.
No. Do you tell this to YT people?
Yes, I go in the
Do you
chat
tell
with
this?
white people.
Do you tell this to natives when they call us Pretendians?
Yes. See, you already started pretending. Stop doing that.
When they call us Pretendians, do you say there's somebody? Why don't you come up here and say that to what's that dude name that just got dropped? I don't even know. Remember his fucking name. That's how irrelevant he is.
Who, the German?
Yeah. Were you gonna say that to him?
No, he was actually looking like he was trying to find
No.
out.
He told me. Hold on, one second. He told me his motives. He already told me. Like, did you miss that? He's gonna come up here
maybe I missed
and tell
some-
me. Yeah, you obviously.
Lady, you're
right?
an agent. Why are you back up here? You were saying we need to learn from Africans and how we ain't got shit.
Hold on,
Why are you
Venus. Hold on, Venus. I got this.
Martial
Right?
law is about
Hold
to
on,
kick
one
you
sec.
up.
All right,
They don't
all
care
right,
if you're
chief.
Indian, African, Jamaican. Like, get that reality check in your head.
All right, I cool. What was I about to say? Well, if martial law is about to come, guess who the idiots that voted for martial law? Who the idiots that
I
voted?
never voted and never will, because my
I was
mom
about to
taught
say,
me better. Sorry, my
well,
mom.
shit.
Yeah, she did, because she told me if nothing changes, never vote. Voting wasn't created by Black people. We wanted voting because we thought it
Yes,
would be
it was.
fair. It wasn't created by us.
Democracy and republics come from us.
Into place. Because it was nothing but Republicans.
Hold on, what? Yeah, I wasn't even done speaking. I wasn't even done speaking, and she cut me off. I was about to say, why didn't you come up with when that dude was gonna come up here and call me? Say he literally said his motive, right? He wanted to come up here and tell us that where we were from. One second, would you let me finish the goddamn?
Hey, when y'all interrupt the host or anybody, y'all throw off their concentration. It lasts. I mean, it's too much chaos when it comes to that. Let's just let the host go ahead and talk to y'all. Okay?
Like, yeah.
Interrupting him and stuff is just too much.
Yeah, I was about that goddamn 100 miles per hour New York shit. I was about to say, when he came up here and he's like, "Oh, I came up here to tell y'all that y'all not Indians." Like, were you gonna say that shit to him? That we're all one? He's gonna come up here and try to tell me who I am.
I didn't hear him say that.
Maybe you should have listened.
Well, then maybe you shouldn't be so disrespectful to people that we could.
Hold on.
There you go.
No. If people in my chat, and you didn't even know. Did you see him in the chat disrespecting us? No, you didn't. No, yeah, you obviously didn't see that, right?
Disrespect me, and all you have to do is say.
I really don't care if I disrespect you. I really don't care. At this point, you're in my life.
Martial law to come.
Okay, and I hope you got the best survival plan for martial law. I hope when it pop off, I want to see everyone rally around you.
You be shocked.
Okay, so chef, let me explain to you what's going on. You came up on the platform, right, accusing us of bullying. You know that's not even our character. Hold on. You know that's not our character, right? Now for us, hold on. You gotta hold on for a second. That's what I'm saying. I'm not over talking you, okay? And I know you got a lot to say, so let me just explain. You know, we are already weaponized by the whole entire world, right? And you know we aren't the people who really start shit. You know what I'm saying? We finish it, but we don't start it. And I know you know this. So when you come up and make it seem like we are being the bullier, that's already an accusation. It's already going to start. So this is the response that you're getting from that.
Okay.
Wait. Just let me say something. I have her. Hold on, Mumu. I have a recording. I have a recording of what she said about us. I can play it after y'all finish speaking.
Okay.
After y'all finish speaking, I'll play it.
Not the receipts.
I love receipts. I don't care. I don't need to lie. Y'all do.
All right, bro. I'm not trying to yell. I'm not trying to yell in this mad panel. Can I get the chance to talk?
Wait, let her respond first.
She's been responding ever since she got up here. I ain't even say nothing since I got up here. So as I was saying, right?
It's too much New York energy.
Because I don't like yelling over people like that at all. Yo, he mad funny for that. For starters, Chief, I don't know what timing you came up out of nowhere for, but that was the timing we was on because this man was being rude. But I was gonna say this. The man that came up earlier, you still here. You was asking about what language that majority of our people was speaking. All I was trying to say is this, that people in the island have their language as is, bro. Niggas from Jamaica, as me, Jamaican, I speak Patois, all right? That's the only thing I was trying to push out there, point blank.
All right, for sure. Go ahead,
Hey,
Vinny.
Vinny, you gonna pull out that video?
Yeah, play that shit. Turn that shit up, Turbo.
Hold on. That's fine. Hold on.
Good screen, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let me turn the camera because I'm not nobody finna lie and say I'm making it up. The video, the thing's an hour long and she spoke multiple times, so I'm gonna have to go in and find all the clips of her. See her picture right there. This video's an hour long.
Entertainment.
They caught you in 4K.
Okay, so
Y'all must get kicks off of it.
Definitely have a problem. Our problem is not understanding that we are still obeying our masters. Africa, the Caribbean are waking up to the reality of saying no. We are not, and we need to stop pretending that we are. We are not. We are not doing anything out here in America that is for our Black people. Our industry is putting music out there purposely to destroy our children. We ain't marching, we ain't stomping, we ain't doing nothing. So for us to be talking, us Americans to be talking to Africans the way we are, like shit is sweet. No, we got it the worst out here because we're not doing anything. We're sitting here arguing with Africans when Africans is trying to put us on. They're trying to put us on. This is what drives Africans away from us. Because we're sitting here trying to fight them when we're supposed to be with them. We're sitting here choosing the Europeans and we keep choosing them over and over and over. Like, I mean, when is we going to understand that we need to crack our skulls and say, you know what? Let's talk to our sisters. Let's talk to our ancestors. Because at the end of the day right now, the Black people, the culture that once was here before the Europeans is getting destroyed. And if we don't figure out how to fix that, there won't be no such thing as Black Americans here in the next 30 years. They won't exist.
Yeah, she's a tether.
You said a mouthful.
She's spoke a few other times, but I gotta find
then you'll be sitting there like, that girl was right.
Wow.
You said, yeah.
Then you will say that girl was right.
No, hold on, one second. One second. How Africans, put us on the what? They ain't not even, they not even in their home.
Trying to put us on. When they came here, they came for us. But all of our stuff was destroyed already.
You want to know what? You want to know who put who on? We put them. Hold on, one second.
Black Wall Street is gone. Okay.
Hold on, one second. They wouldn't even be here if it wasn't for us. We put them on. We like what are we talking
put
about?
them on.
Well, how they gonna put us on to something? They not even in their home. Hold on, one second. Hold on, one second. They go to their own what? Like they put us on to what when they not home? How they gonna put us onto something? They can't even put themselves on at home.
They don't own no fucking land here, no nothing. Man, get the fuck out of here.
Like we got land here.
Put us on with what?
Embassy. They have a couple of embassies right here in Manhattan that they go get assistance from. Why Black America is going to put
First of all, hold on.
We
Let me say this. Wait. Let me say this.
For themselves.
First of all, if you think for 1 second, think about what you just said. You said they come over here and get assistance, right? And then you're about to go ahead and say Black people what? Do you know the fuck they let me fucking finish, bro? Do you know that you know what, bitch? Look,
they get assistance.
You finna get your ugly ass the fuck up off this goddamn panel. That's what you finna do. TikTok, hold on. This is for entertainment, educational purposes only. Let me put this out here, y'all. Please, just give me a few seconds. How dare you sit up here and try to say that these people are for us? Number one, our ancestors were fighting these same people, right? Secondly, the reason why they have any fucking thing is because of us. Do you understand what I'm saying? What the fuck have they helped us done besides move us out of our position? You are an op. I mean, what the fuck is that page again? Because I'm gonna have to block this bitch.
Yeah, block that bitch.
Oh, Lord Jesus. That is so disrespectful. You literally have spoke so much sorcery out your mouth, but guess what? It's already returned back to sender.
Y'all
You know that. I mean, I'm sorry, y'all. Let me just get this out. When have you seen an African of any tribe march in favor for us?
When have you ever seen any Africans actually stand up for us, speak highly of us? When have you ever seen it? I've never seen it. I've seen them stand up to France for France and all this shit. Okay, I've never seen them stand up for us. Secondly, they don't even fucking like us. You should know that. You over in fucking New York. They look down on us. And the fact that, hold on, y'all, let me get this out. The fact that they don't appreciate our culture, they don't appreciate who we are. They benefit and they appropriate. Appropriation and appreciation is two different fucking things.
Nah, but that shit, that dude's response after I'm not gonna that dude's response after she got finished.
FBA up there. He was at FBA.
he's like, yeah, she's a tether. But well, what's I about to say? Nah, but how are they putting what are they putting this on to when they not home? When a lot of them not even, how they gonna come up over here and put us on when they left? where they couldn't put themselves on back home. Shout out to the ones that are home, still home, that are putting themselves on. But yeah, hold on 1 second, yo, don't you hear me speaking? Like, god damn. People gotta drop. People gonna have to drop if you want to come up. People gonna have to drop. But yeah, shout out to the Africans that are still home, building up their homelands, you know. But the ones that's coming on over here, what they putting us on to? Nothing.
I got the second part of what she said. I had to do a lot of scrolling through the thing. It's a whole, the live is an hour and a half or something like that that I recorded. So
I know she ain't never been to Africa talking about they putting us on. If you go over there, you will see they not even putting themselves on.
Right.
Okay. They are sabotaging each other.
They still shitting and pissing in the street.
Please.
I'm good on it.
Wait, I did.
Oh, are you playing some more? All right.
Yeah. Let me see. Ooh.
Why do you think you want to leave?
Part of the government.
I want to know.
Oh my gosh, we're gonna go on mute in a second. They yapping.
Okay, so you're working on it.
Y'all have studied us so much, but what have you done to know? Y'all got all the information.
All right, guys.
But what
Oh, sorry, y'all. I tried to skip most of it.
Oh, they yapping.
So about this whole conversation, the biggest problem is we don't remember. We keep refusing in America to accept that we used to bully these Africans and other cultures. Like, I can't understand.
When did Black Americans ever bully?
Wait.
It's not your time to speak.
Wait.
Jesus, stop doing that. It's so annoying.
Girl,
you do it, so we shut the fuck up.
Oh my gosh.
I saw it.
This is African
with my
live.
own 2 eyes, and
Yeah.
I questioned it, my own skin color, and it just was weird to me, and I couldn't figure out why. Like, everybody was bullying them for their language, their hair texture, their clothes, and nowadays they're now trying to sit here and say that the Africans is bullying them all of a sudden. Y'all don't get it. They came here expecting us to have businesses. They came here looking for us to have things going, but our
boy.
destroyed by Europeans. So by the time they got here, our businesses were gone. Everything we had was gone. So guess who they had to turn to, just like us in America? The Europeans. We have to understand it's a chain reaction that keeps constantly going on.
Switch people
So
out.
us fighting each other, it's not each other. We need to get together. Stop thinking about the Europeans, because they're the ones that keeps this chain going of, oh, go back to Africa, bullshit. That has been said by Americans for a long time. And it's so sad because we are Africans. We have the bloodline in us. So it doesn't matter. All of us are mixed breed here in America. You can say which one, we are mixed breeds.
Can you even say that?
We have to break out that little freaking cycle we got going on in our heads
I don't think so.
in America. Because we need to listen to the Africans. They're the last left of us. I'm sorry, but they're the last of us.
I'm American.
The Caribbean,
I'm not giving up America.
we're not giving up America.
I'm not giving up America.
About yourself.
Okay, host, can I have my time?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, you may.
Oh, I thought somebody was talking to me.
No. Word.
Okay.
Yeah, I know you ain't making fun of other people live. Man, Ite, shut your ass up. You a old talking all that
Go
shit
ahead.
on Twitter.
I
You
be
old,
record-
wrinkly.
When y'all talk
Uh,
trash about us, I record y'all's lives because people like to say that it never happened. So I be recording them live. So whatever y'all be saying, it be on my YouTube. So keep it up.
yeah, you got not you putting you one of them type of YouTubers, Venus. Hey yo.
Yeah,
She got YouTube
You know
videos
what's so
talking.
crazy
She
about
got
that is she literally said that Venus was lying. She said she did not
right.
say that.
Oh, now she
Yeah,
That's
CYT. Go ahead, New Era. My
as a
bad.
person, yeah, as a person from New York, I don't know how old she is. I can most definitely say she's lying because I remember
I'm
growing
from
up
New
in
York
the 90s.
too.
Yeah, growing up in the 90s and shit, I remember when Africans came over, we was like, hey yo, we the same. And I remember very rarely them niggas was talking about we're not the same, we know who we are, you don't, and spitting. So when the fuck was we pardon my language, when the fuck was we ever fucking bullying Africans in New York? Because I don't remember that shit. I remember we tried to be kumbaya with the motherfuckers and they was like, no, we ain't the same.
That's what I'm saying, family. And I also remember that them people was never in America like that, especially like when I was in elementary. I didn't see no Africans around me. Like the only kids that was around me was white tea, the simple white tea, Asian, and the Caribbeans. That was really about it.
Word.
They come in from Rhode Island, a lot of Liberians. So Africans, depending on which nation, they send word back to this is where we're resettling. So for the Sudanese, a lot of them settled in like Nebraska. For a lot of the like Nigerians, but particularly the Liberians, they're known for resettling in Rhode Island, particularly Providence. Like there's a connection. But they know, especially Maryland. Like Maryland's a hotbed for them. They love, so they send word.
Everywhere
So they
but
have their
Baltimore is a hot.
pockets.
1 second. Everywhere but Baltimore is a hotbed for them in Maryland. I'm gonna put that out there right now. We do not have these problems in Baltimore, but we are our own country.
To move to Baltimore real soon. Shoot.
No. Oh, wait a minute. Baltimore is closed. Sorry.
Baltimore ain't closed.
Yeah, Baltimore is closed. Sorry. We only need y'all messing up our culture. Y'all can move to PG and DC.
They're
Baltimore's
already trying
closed.
to colonize Louisiana.
They need y'all there. I said they need Black Americans in DC and Montgomery County and PG County. Y'all can move there.
Need no more Baltimore City. They got enough, huh?
Yeah, we don't need out of towners muddying up our culture. You feel me?
Yeah, I used to be with somebody who was from Baltimore City. Let me tell you something. Woo! It's off the chain.
Let me go ahead and colonize you niggas real fast. For me.
Especially we don't need no New Yorkers coming here.
But all you Baltimore people be coming up to New York.
Wait, who?
Bro, especially this is the time for y'all to come up here. I'm gonna be here.
Everybody from Baltimore going to Houston.
You know what? No offense to Haitians, but there's so many Haitians in Louisiana. Now when I say I'm Creole, people think I'm talking about Haiti, when they used to think I was talking about Louisiana. That's ridiculous.
People in Baltimore either going to Houston or Atlanta if they leaving.
Yep.
They be trying to get up out of there.
So much turmoil. I'm like, they're done. And some of them island nations gonna be underwater after hurricane season, so they're done. They don't even exist anymore.
Yeah, family in Frederick, Maryland. Jesus Christ! If you got family in Frederick, Maryland, GG's.
I'm about to say y'all coming in Carolina.
He said,
I've been all the places, Hagerstown, all the places. Lord have mercy.
Like Frederick, Maryland is a triple K hub.
Well, I need to pull up to that
town too.
A lot of places in Virginia too.
Oh heck yeah!
I want to go to these sundown towns to see what time they really on. Let's see who really get gangster out of this shit.
You pulling up with the auto fire?
Hell yeah!
Yo,
you know that post that been going around with Kanye West wearing a whole black version of what the Ku Klux members wear? That's about to be me. I swear to you, I'm about to pull out that shit. The whole black Ku Klux fit.
But Western Maryland, we don't even acknowledge Western Maryland. That's all Germans in Western Maryland.
No, let's get red clan hoods and call ourselves the Red Panthers and pull up to the sundown towns.
Nah, I jacked that. Is there any red sundown towns in Baltimore?
No. That'd be Baltimore was one of the last places would be a sundown, where it's a sundown town, a sundown area. like we would run them out the city.
Exactly. They sure will. Look, them lead paint babies. Ain't that what they call them? Lead paint babies?
People getting them lead checks. Yeah.
Yes. They crazy. So let's go ahead.
But
they ain't going to Baltimore City. Exactly. That's why they put all the people in Baltimore City in the first place.
They got sundown towns in California, but they're mostly full of the Mexicans. To go over here.
Area where all the Africans come to in Maryland. There's a certain area they all go.
It's Montgomery County. That's where all the Ethiopians are. Nigerians are in Prince George's County, Southern Maryland, near in Northern Virginia, near DC. So that's where they all at.
Because someone keeps saying mostly southern states. So there's lots of sundown towns.
There's
lots of sundown towns on the West Coast.
Ohio as well. We got sundown towns in Ohio, and they do got some in Indiana.
Downtowns are rural. Most rural areas is basically don't be here after dark, and they will run you out of town.
Right. It ain't nothing but a little town.
Oh, I'm gonna be there after dark. They're gonna kind of have to find my ass in them woods.
Dirt roads, country, the sticks.
Yep.
And I don't even think a sundown town means they'll run you out because we have people who live in sundown towns. But the entire time you live there, you finna suffer.
But if you're on a long road where there's no like stop signs, and it's just like mile markers in between, like farmland.
They basically said, just don't come here alone.
Oh, we got Carrie Davis in the building. What's up, Carrie?
What's up?
Hello, man. Peace.
Did y'all see that? Did y'all see that girl who said she was raised on a reservation and they unalived the native Apaches unalived her people because she was black? Them reservations low key sundown towns. What in the world?
Hey, bro, somebody else.
No, I'm realizing as I speak more to them that their reservations are more like detention camps, kind of like what Homeland Security is doing right now, and that's why they really can't leave. And I asked them, I'm like, where are you from? Where are your grandparents from? And it's like they're not allowed to leave the reservation.
Nope, because they property, they government property.
Bragging about it.
Yep. I was like, y'all be
detention camps.
Like it's paradise.
Tell me why. Y'all know Mono, right? So Mono got exposed today of him not having a tribal ID, none of that stuff, right? So I had to be up there because, I was being a Native American business and all that. But I just want y'all to hear and see exactly the shenanigans. Hear and see, right?
Did you record it or something?
Hell yeah, I did. You already knew I did that.
I like the people to record. Ooh.
Are y'all ready?
Yep.
All right, bet.
We're a little we don't even we're not even a tribal member, motherfuckers. Hey, Amber, what happened? I thought you rolled deep. I thought you guys worked for that. What the fuck are you doing in here? I thought you were fucking harassing her. Why are you in the house? I talked to the chairman, dude. Who you work with the Roman department? Show up. I thought you were gonna show up to the New Year's powwow. You didn't show up.
For the Roman department, you do not.
You were not even in the
Do you work for the Roman department? Are you in charge of the Roman? Are you in charge of the Roman?
You're a fake. You're a Virginian. You're nobody. You're nobody. You're nobody. So how you gonna pop up here talking like the way you do? One by one. You guys nobody knows you. Every mono that has ever
see, that's why I don't do sometimes because the fucking little babies always run away.
He doesn't know who else right.
He's
always a track star. Yeah. He's always right.
Chick.
He's like funny. The little another Boston episode. Like, yeah, all right, I'll be that.
All right, and this is the next one. Now, before I get in this one, I saw the Creole pull up in there. I'm like, Ariana, what you doing here? Shit, like when she popped up, that shit had me weak as fuck. So y'all gonna see me click on her profile because she changed her name, so I didn't know who the fuck that was for a second. So I had to click on her profile and see if that's the Creole. That was the Creole, and I was like, Ariana, what you doing here? So let me just play that.
Sounds like abusive men.
Let him put it
on the road.
Let her fucking can say what she needs to say to him. She's a real
said it to him. I said it so many times. He tried to threaten me saying he was going to come to the Fresno, the New Year's Eve powwow at Fresno Convention Center. He didn't show up for shit.
Oh my God.
He said he rolls deep.
He's not even down.
Nice so he can take a picture with someone and be like, see, I'm enrolled.
No, the person that he did spoke up about it. His name, I know you guys talked to him too. Darth?
Yes.
The one he took a picture with. See, these are my people. He fucking
Darth
denied
Native?
that shit.
Know him, for real.
And then
I
the
already
other
know that.
grass sensor
I
that he
checked
has
him on
his
that shit.
profile.
I was like,
The
so
other
wait, you
grass
showed
sticker,
the
that's my
powwow and you
cousin.
get a picture?
Nah, so I had to stop playing it because I was losing brain cells listening to them natives speak. But basically, y'all, the Native Americans are basically going head at each other saying that, oh, if you're not on the res, if you don't got a tribe card, then you're not Native American, okay? As you can see, they came out their own kind, Mono, who claimed to be Native American, but he's actually a citizen. So he really is not enrolled in any tribe. He's a regular citizen like everybody else. So where Native Mama and them, like I don't know who said about the Native Americans being on reservation, they stuck. That's absolute true. And see, them natives don't even know what the hell they be talking about because they don't even know that their current situation is them being stuck on a reservation.
Yep.
Right.
Oh, they
So,
stuck that.
yeah, speaking in gibberish, like you can't hear a damn word they be saying.
Well, but what I keep finding out, because when they come to my broadcast, I ask them where they from. They'll give me some ambiguous place, and I ask them Mexico. And I've been really pointing out through my broadcast that these people have never even been to the United States. A lot of them, and the ones that are in California, I ask them. I say, so what interaction have your tribes ever had with the Cherokee? And they say historically, they all agree. Historically, they've never had any interaction with our tribe. So then I asked them, do you think that because you are Navajo or XYZ, do you think you have some authority over the Cherokee? Well, no, we don't have authority. I said, do you think you have some jurisdiction over us? We've never interacted historically. You think that you own Louisiana. You've never been to Louisiana. Like you think and so we end up exposing them. But for the most part, what we're finding is that these people are definitely like one generation away from Mexico. That's what we've been finding out.
Yeah, them people are really. I mean, like I have a whole book. I can't remember the top of my head, but it's like the Chinese people coming into the America's slavery time period. Oh, I'm sorry.
I was you could keep going. I was burping.
Native American or Chino to Indians. So once I found that book, sis, I'm gonna give it to you real fast.
It's called Asian slavery or Asian slave or something like that.
Yeah.
From Chino to
There's
Indians.
another one called Making the Chinese Mexican. Have you guys ever heard of that one?
No.
Yes, it's another one called Making the Chinese Mexican. And if y'all didn't know, right there under Texas on that exotic map of the USA, China, right there.
Asians, when they can't get citizenship into the United States, it's already West. It's already Trans-Pacific. So a lot of them just settle in Mexico. So there's a lot of Asians that are and they've been there for generations. They don't have the same issues in getting into Mexico like they do the United States. So they just settle there.
Same thing with Belize too. Like I noticed that there's a lot of Asian mixed native looking people there and stuff like that. And I was like very surprised because I'm like, wow, there's actually Native Americans all do freaking Belize. But people have to understand that a lot of people from Asia, that whole area, Asia's been coming to the Americas. People forgot the Pacific Ocean is the most easiest joyride you can go to when it comes to coming to America. And then aligning with the European invasion and them coming from the other side, from the Eastern Hemisphere, traveling all the way through, picking up people one by one, bringing them these people from one land to another. Like, these people know what they're doing.
What's up? We got protected children. What's up?
Oh, what up? Peace, peace, everybody. This Swarthy. This my
Oh, what's up?
new account.
Oh, what's up?
What up? Yeah, man. These people most of them are Spanish Arabs. That's why.
Yep, Ottoman Turks.
Bruh, that's why they like tacos so much, because tacos are Arabic.
I didn't know tacos are Arabic.
I didn't know that either.
Oh, you talking about
That
gyro
shit-
and shit?
No, yeah, the whole that come from over there. That don't come from nowhere over here. That's them Arabic people food, and these people carry on a lot of the Arabic traditions, like that red and green flag. A lot of these Moors be claiming that's a Spanish Arab flag. That is the Sultan of Morocco's flag, which he literally, this man's literally look like a Mexican. If you put him with a sombrero on, you wouldn't know the difference.
Oh man,
that's crazy.
Anybody want to address the title?
I do.
I know we got
That's really why I came up here to address the title, but we got a whole nother
I was about to say, yeah, we've been everywhere.
I just wanted to say
what is an African American? From my understanding was an African American, and just based off what I used to identify before I educated myself with my family history, African American, in my opinion, is someone that is literally from Africa and they was born in America. Black Americans, I feel like that term should be only used for people that is actually from America, right? Because a lot of people in America don't really know exactly where their people is at. All they know is that their family been here. But that term, African American, I don't like that term at all. I don't like the fact that they try to group everybody that have family living here in this soil past this new term that been used, and they try to put this new term on everybody in this land. I don't like that. I don't like it at all. African American is a ghetto ass term, and if you're claiming to be African American, you're ghetto as fuck. I said what I said. What you gonna do about it?
All right. Anybody else?
I just don't like that term.
I want to chime in. African American is a misnomer and it's a misclassification, and it's a former descriptor, a misnomer, like I said, for Black Americans. And I think to what the sister was saying before me, I think that's why it was so easy for us to drop it and delineate, because it was like, oh, finally something that makes sense. Finally something that, we're spreading that makes sense. Oh, finally something we can research and look into, and we're finding tangible results. So like on a larger scale, African American is a term that is not applied to us anymore. Like even congressionally, even in the media, they don't call us African American anymore. So I guess that part of it was, accepted like socially. But African Americans are now the people that are first and second, maybe even third generation, maybe a parent or a grandparent born in Africa, but now they're here and they're popping out babies like rabbits, like wild rabbits. And these anchor babies are now, just repopulating the United States. So for a lot of them that are, I really am all about the revoking of birthright citizenship. I'm all for it, because if it's saying like my, former whatever, he was born in Providence, Rhode Island. His mom was visiting the United States for a wedding and went into labor. Okay, so he had the privilege of being born in the United States, but his parents are from Liberia. So they do that. They come over here, or they come over here and get pregnant. And then since then, I've learned that a lot of his other family members are undocumented here. So there's a lot of Africans in America that are undocumented. And I just think we need to really push for the revocation of whatever their status is. And I think that's going to happen very, very soon.
Like, yeah, you got people stealing other people's information. That's how they be
Actually
getting
deported. Oh my bad.
No, you
I
got
saw a video. A woman actually got deported when she came over here pregnant and they revoked her visa.
Mm-hmm. Oh, can I elaborate on that African American word?
Go ahead.
Okay, so what is an African American? An African American is Elon Musk and Charlize Theron.
Thanks.
Okay, that's what an African American is. Also, that Black American term. Let me elaborate something on you. The word Black. First of all, it means civilly dead, which means it doesn't exist under the conscious us. Okay. So if you're out here calling yourself a Black American, okay, which they are teaching children to call themselves that in school. They're teaching you to call yourself a dead what? A dead American, which means now they're trying to call yourself. Okay, now you're calling yourself something that doesn't exist, and that's why they're able to unalive people that look like us in the streets and get off on it because you're unaliving something that didn't exist in the first place.
It's
Y'all some fruits in the chat, y'all.
it's listen, my mind is blown with the intelligence that's going on in here. I didn't even really think this existed.
What's up, Tay?
But what the sisters are saying is dead on. African American is an ex-Black, an ex-colored, an ex-Negro, all those terms. They keep changing your identity just to keep you totally confused. Because when you confuse, they know you spend money.
Yep.
You spend everything you have. So let me suggest this. This is something simple and it'll blow everything out of the water. Call yourself what your people call themselves.
Exactly.
They didn't call themselves Cherokees and Choctaw. Those are the names that those people use to try to bleed in with you. All those people that you're talking about coming from overseas, those are terms that they're
Big facts. All those usurped tribal names, those ain't even really tribes. Those are corporations.
Go find.
They got a tax ID number and everything.
Pull it out.
Go
We're
find.
getting donated to them.
Go find where your people is still there, steal the names. Then they can't erase you like that. Just go back as far as you can. You got
the surname.
Yeah, I mean, you see where they live, and start doing these tests on yourself. These DNA tests and blood tests. You don't need these folks. You can do them on yourself. Simply, now you have to remember where these people live. They farmed whatever minerals they have there. They work with them. Those things were passed down to you. That's why they change your name and move you all over the place.
That's facts.
You never figure it out.
That you own this land over here and the minerals and the waterways on it.
That's in your blood. We don't question it because you do what they tell you to do. That's all Black people do. So your people are still here. It's all you pass by it every day.
Exactly.
The names are up. You ain't going nowhere. And like the sister say, stop looking at yourself as Black. You're not. You ever notice this?
That's a dark color. That's Darby's black background.
Really, I know I ain't Black because my skin ain't black.
If you ever notice this, you'll get what I'm saying. You ever notice Africans never call themselves Black?
Exactly.
And they're Blacker than you.
And the people in India.
They do call themselves Black.
They don't. They call themselves.
That's the new ones, not the old ones.
Oh yeah, I was about to say the new one, my generation, the new gen of Africans. Yes, they call themselves Black
because they're trying to be you.
Yeah, they trying to. Oh my God, let me show y'all this. Oh my God, I think I deleted that
First and foremost, hold on, because I'm gonna refer to myself however I want to. But Black is a caste system. And so when I'm referring to myself as anything, first, who am I submitting this authority to? That's first and foremost. So if I'm talking about my people historically, Black is something that removal of civil rights, like I said, civility mortis. So I get that. But historically, things happen to my ancestors. So I'm gonna carry that with me until I get some compensation for that as well. Because we deserve some type of restorative and reparative justice. So I get what you're saying, but on my applications, historically, I'm gonna identify it however I want. And then you're saying, don't call yourself Cherokee. I really don't have to call myself anything because who am I identifying myself for? Like, why do I have to call myself anything if I'm dealing with my own? But if we're talking about historically documentation, like my ancestor, my elders were absolutely called Negro. We were called all these things, so I'm carrying that with me. Historically, I don't have to call myself American Indian at all. But historically, we are that. Or at least my
Negro,
people.
because
I'm talking about mine.
that's our name. That's the Negro name. That's our name, and that
All of that. All Blackamoor, all of that. All of
yeah,
that.
because I agree with Lila. All my family identifies as Black, even if they don't believe they come from Africa. They all identify as Black.
So when these people
But
came over here, what did they identify you
on
as?
on legal records, I've been trying to make a habit of marking down American Indian instead of Black, but I still kind of identify as Black, like, in person.
When these people came over here, what did
Hold on, sir. And to understand the caste system of being labeled as Black basically means you're a slave. You're
Right.
being in prison on your own soil.
Yeah, if you have a birth certificate, you are a
Hold
slave.
on.
If you have an
I'm
SSN, you
at
are a
the grocery
slave.
store. Hold on, let me finish. I'm at the grocery store. I'm trying to mute it up. My whole thing is when you understand it as a political term, that's what it means. But I definitely get what everybody's saying. It does, you know what I'm saying, coincide with us. You get me? But to label yourself as that is what it is.
Right.
Last thing, and I'm out. What did
I'm
your
gonna
people
go after you,
identify
OG.
them? What did your people identify them, introduce themselves? When these people came over here, what were your people calling themselves? That predates every word that you just named. That's why I say call your people what they call themselves. All right, and nobody can say right. You were that before you were Black. You were that before you were Negro. That's all I'm saying. It's really not hard to understand.
I was gonna say,
Man, keep up the good work, man. You have a nice program.
Thank you, appreciate it.
appreciate you, OG, for chiming
Yep,
in
OG,
and dropping your knowledge for sure. But I was gonna chime in behind what you were saying, OG, before you dip. Because when and I'm gonna be completely honest when I say this too, because I don't ever lie when I speak on things, right? Before I was educated with my family history, I used to identify myself as Black American because that's the only thing I knew what it was being a Black American, right? But then when I got an opportunity to do my genealogy and I did a little bit more research, like you were saying, understanding what my people were claiming, that's what I rather claim. And if anybody asks me outside this what I am, I'm gonna tell them I'm American, Indian, I'm American. Where in America? Well, if you want to know, be exact, I was born here in New York City, but then my family came from North Carolina, Virginia, and then that other side, North Carolina, Virginia, came from the Caribbeans. Point blank. That's my whole background, my family history. If you want a little bit more who mixed in with my family, I could tell you 3 people who did: the British, the Irish, and the Scottish. And we all know them niggas was all in the Americas as well. So with that being said, my family history aligns with the shit that happened here in America. Nowhere outside of America. So why the hell would I continuously call myself the opposite of what my people never wanted to call themselves the first place?
And it also, I will say this, when it comes to these dots, it also depends on where folks is from, too. Like, my grandma, I had a grandma that she grew up during the Jim Crow era, right? She called herself Black, like, and things like that's why I just be listening when folks say stuff. I respect everybody else point of views. I get it, right? Like, and it also like being called Black in certain areas. Some folks did. They refer to themselves as that in like earlier time periods. So it is what it is. Folks call themselves, and like I got those stories in my family, Indian, Black.
Yeah,
that, things like that.
I agree with Darvik because my great grandma, y'all talking about what your ancestors called you. My great grandma called herself Black. That's an ancestor right there. So So y'all can't be saying that.
So you know the.
And understand that that time of the classification that was happening, like our people was getting called, our people jacking Negro, our people was jacking and calling themselves colored, our people jacking themselves calling Afro American, our people jacking themselves black. I should say those main terms when it came to identifying ourselves, those are the main things that at least our elders could identify themselves at that time, right? But understand that there's always going to be a progression and evolution when it comes to the human beings, right? And then also new vocabulary terms is going to be coming up as well. So with that being said,
I embrace all of it. So yeah, that's why my point is. I embrace all of it.
Yeah, it still revolves with all of us. It still revolves with every nigga, and I'm gonna call every nigga, I ain't gonna say black, every nigga living in America, especially if you've been on the east coast of America. Yeah, you and your family literally was affiliated with the shit that was happening here.
And yeah, and then God has said you're a slave if you call yourself black or you're identifying as one. I mean, in my opinion, you're identifying as a slave or you are one if you have a birth certificate, if you have an SSN, if you're a USA citizen. But that's just my opinion. So yeah, I would be a slave. My grandma, all of them would be.
Right. I didn't say that if you label yourself as such, then that means you're a slave. What I'm telling you,
to correct it.
As far as no, I know. What I'm saying is, as far as politics is involved, to label yourself, you know what I'm saying, legally type of thing.
Right.
So like, just basically clarifying
I
that
think
you
just to
can call
say
yourself
that
whatever you want to call yourself.
yeah,
So
but just to say I'm a
basically,
slave
politically,
because
hold on,
no,
excuse
that's not
me.
cool.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that. So don't accuse me of that. What I said was
the meaning.
politically, lawfully, to label yourself as such. But I did say, when you would understand that is still attached to our history, it is. But to publicly and legally label yourself as such, that's what it means in the eyes of politics. Politics don't deal with skin complexion. These labels is black and white, and it being racism, that's what it is. Racism is a social construct. Colorism is skin complexion. That's it.
Can I ask you a question, ma'am? And I'll end it here. Know what the term means? You don't know what I have in my mind on what the term means. And I start calling you that. And then you started.
Means when somebody says consensus.
Please.
It's like you as a single person don't matter, but in a consensus.
When a person comes up with a name to name you, and you start calling that self, start calling yourself that, who does that benefit, you or the person coming up with the term?
It all depends. Hold on, it all depends on how you look at it. We call ourselves brown skinned people, right? Who came up with the term brown? Who came up with the term skin? Right? Any words can mean anything. Words mean whatever we give it. So
right. That's also true. You know, because every word have their own definition. You know, homophones in a sense, right? So with that being said, you know, people's gonna identify.
Y'all gotta understand where the etymology of those words come from.
2025. We got people out here identifying themselves as these different plural terms. You feel me? Calling themselves they, them, all of that stuff. So you know, it's a new time period for people who want to call themselves whatever, right? But if you know what you know, and you know that your people been here, and you American, that's the shit that you got. Fuck what you want to call yourself. We just know that you here in this land and you on that same time and like every nigga trying to be on. You feel me?
yeah, and words do have an origin and an etymology, but how do we know that's actually the etymology or origin? That's from oral history. That's someone else wrote that down. How do we even know that's true? How do we know there wasn't a word before that? How do we know there wasn't a meaning? Hold on. How do we know there wasn't a meaning before what's written down on etymology.com or what's said to be the origin?
Wait, hold on, Venus. Let me ask you a question.
Every word.
Who created the English language?
Huh?
Who created the English language?
Americans and Europeans.
And who were the Americans that created that language? Was it us or the ones that came over on the boat?
Us.
Exactly. So my thing is, and when you say etymology and origin, we created the etymology and origin of a lot of those words that they changed.
Yeah, but I'm saying if you go on Google and you look up the etymology or the
No, no,
origin
no,
words, how do
don't
we
please,
know
please.
how do we know that's actually it? How do we know this
Don't
that
go
was
to
something
Google.
before
That's
that?
the point. That's the point. Don't go to Google. Don't ever use Google for, especially for words like these.
Hold on, we
Please.
use etymology.com all the time. We use Google
No,
to
no, no,
find
no.
these
I
things
don't.
all the time.
Okay,
But
can I
hold on.
say
I
something
never use
real quick,
I
and not to
never
cut
use
you ladies off? If you look
Mhm.
up like what is the root word to whatever word you're looking up, you will understand that regardless, the root to the word, there is a root to every word. You get what I'm saying? And whatever that root is, what was it used for? Was it used for a noun, pronoun? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, receipt goddess,
So
but
then
there's
on top, hold on, let me.
go ahead.
What I'm saying is, instead of us going back and forth about the word, it's just me. I mean, I'm quite sure I'm on the panel with so many, you know, what I'm saying, very intelligent people. So
Mhm.
we all know that there's a root meaning to these words. Now, later on, a lot of these words that were created was created for a landmass. They were created for people. They're, you know what I'm saying? So that's how you get to the root of the word. That's all I wanted to say.
Yeah, my point was that we don't really know the origins of these actual roots. How do we know it is what they say it is? How do we know that's the meaning? Hold on. How do we know that's the
Well,
meaning
you're
of those
using,
hold on,
you
hold
asking
on.
the same question over and over.
How do we know those that's the meaning of those actual root words? How do we know that? That's we
If
don't
you
actually
study
know
the
that.
root of
My
those
point
words,
is
you
that
will know.
words mean whatever meaning we give it.
No, 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 no.
That's not how this was developed. That's not how
No.
language was developed.
That's, thank you.
What do you mean
It's
that's not how language is developed? How do y'all know for sure
So
that those
hi.
root
So
words mean what it
for
says it means?
from an
How do y'all know that?
academic standpoint, the way
same
language
academics that
was
say we come from Africa.
the way language was cultivated over centuries, with English being Germanic, and when you go into the etymology, they'll tell you this is a borrowed word. It's Indo.
That's not what I'm asking you.
So when you have people linguists, have you ever heard of the profession like a linguist?
Yeah,
Somebody
but
that
that's not
studies
linguists say
languages.
Ebonics comes from Africa. Linguists are not correct.
So hi.
Linguists
Okay,
are not correct.
if you could listen,
If you could listen, you're not addressing my question.
Because I'm being interrupted as well. So
You're
there's a
not
premise
addressing
and
it,
there's a
that's why.
conclusion when I speak. So what I'm saying is, if you study the origins of words, the prefix, the suffix, they will tell you the origin of the words. From a original, we talk about ancient languages. When you go to Sanskrit, words absolutely have meaning. It carries weight. Words hold vibration. It is you're talking about like certain words like So words hold weight. When we sing, oh, excuse me, can I please finish the point? So when we're singing, we're chanting, we're alming, we're praying, everything that we say and it manifests is coming from vibratory frequencies. So words absolutely matter. And there are people that they dedicated their life to these words. And so we're just using that and we're a continuation of that. So do absolutely have some respect. If this is the language you speak, have some respect for it. Understand what you are speaking.
That's not what I'm asking. I'm asking how do you know that the words that they're
And you
saying the
test it for
etymology
yourself.
comes from,
Test the
how do you
frequency of
know
the
that
word
it's
for
true? That is what
yourself.
I'm asking.
What's going on here?
Test the word for yourself. You do some testing. Study.
Because these same
Do the
linguists are
work.
trying to say Ebonics is connected to African languages. These
Nobody
same
talk about
linguists.
Ebonics, girl. We
These
talking
same
about language,
linguists.
period.
Ebonics is our
We
language
talking
too.
about
Ebonics
English. We
uses
talking about-
American
we
Indian
talking about the
words, and they're
ancient
trying to
Hebrew. We
say
talking
that
about
it
those
derives
languages.
from African etymology.
Talking about they say a lot of things.
You just
We're
brought
talking
up
about a
linguists. You're saying
consensus
how
here. We're
linguists
talking about
dedicate their
widely
entire lives,
accepted.
and now you're saying they is a different people. Like what?
Yes, we're talking about. You keep saying they. You keep bringing they. We're
Yes,
talking about
they as in
linguists.
linguists.
We're talking about
they as in
the
linguists. The
weight of
linguist, the same
words.
linguist you brought up earlier.
Who is they and talking about Ebonics? Show me where some they.
Go look
that
up the
coming from
etymology
Ebonics.
of most Ebonics words is going to
And you
say
said
it
they
comes from
said,
African
they
words.
said, they.
Yes, they as in linguists, the same linguist you were mentioning earlier.
Girl,
About how they dedicate their whole lives.
give me an
to
example
learning
of that.
stuff.
Give
The
me an
same
example of
linguist
a
you were
Ebonic
talking
word
about.
that they said is African.
Go look it up.
What's an example? Because you made the claim. So other than that,
go look it up.
we know
Go
it
look
ain't
it up.
Hey,
If you have been on this earth
name
this
an
long,
Ebonic
you haven't
word.
seen how they try to
Hey, slow down,
Ebonics.
y'all.
I'm not here to teach you. You should know that at your age.
Hold on. One second.
Very insulting.
Let's slow it down. Let's slow it down, yo.
I can't get a clear answer clearly. I just
What's
want to
wrong?
know how y'all know what's written down is true. That's all. But nobody can answer clearly.
Because I mean, well, obviously
What-
we're not
what-
because this is no make sense for us to be going back and forth. Be quiet, everybody.
Wait, what was asked?
Because I said words are whatever meaning that you believe it is. Words are whatever we make it. And they were saying no, the etymology of those words matter. And I'm like, who's writing down the etymology? How do you know the words didn't have different meanings before the etymology that's listed there? How do you know that?
I would say
And they won't
look
give me
at
an
our
answer.
cultures. I would say look at our
Study,
cultures from
study.
pre-colonialism, right? Like our people are very intelligent, right? So back then, whatever they was using, right, that these so-called white tea people came across, right? Because we know they didn't create any languages around the world. We started every language, but we the first people to exist. It's almost impossible for anybody else to create something. We've been here so long. But I would just say the reason why words have certain meanings because we gave it meanings back then, right? And then these people just flipped it on us, flipped a lot of words on us, or hit a lot of stuff. But a lot of ancient languages, yeah, stuff we use today derives from ancient words, and they just, they scramble that shit around or whatever. But peace to the panel.
Yeah, peace.
I'm just saying we don't have every single ancient word recorded, every single ancient
Honey,
language recorded.
do you read the
That's what
hieroglyphs?
I'm
Do you read
saying.
the Medu Netter?
So how do y'all know?
Do you read the Medu Netter? No, but do you read? Have you read the hieroglyphs? Have you read the glyphs? Do you know some of the root
They're not
words?
the only ancient
glyphs.
Yeah, I
Because
know,
you're
but
asking
yeah,
these
I read-
very
yeah, I
basic
have.
questions, and I'm sending you to the answer. So, for example, the word hoot, hut, het, haru, that means house. So, what is a hut? So, mut, mute, mother, mut. So, if you study some ancient languages, you understand we're still using a lot of these ancient languages have been developed and cultivated over time. So, when I talk to you about the energy of words have vibration, frequency, and people do study that. So, thankfully, they did the work, so I don't have to do that. So you're making it harder on yourself because you're asking things that already been answered. So study some ancient cultures, learn the weight and the vibration and the frequency of words. That's what we're saying. So if you chant, like I said, if you don't chant, you don't understand where we're coming from. So there's certain words like Shreem, Lakshmi that carries the weight of good fortune and abundance and wealth. And some people just chant that all day. So when you look at Sanskrit, one of the oldest languages, you can see, okay, we still using that. Then they tell you this was borrowed from French. When we say rendezvous, si vous plaît, RSVP. So you're using words. So we use that. And so all of this is a mix of different cultures. So, I mean, you say, how you say black in Cherokee is a nigi nigi. So what's that? A naga, nigi, naga, kanya? So when we're looking at these words, we can actually, there are people who have studied syllabaries, the consonants, vowels, it all means something. So thankfully, they did this stuff thousands of years ago. So I have other things to do with my life, to be studying. I trust it, and we move on, and it's a consensus, and it's widely accepted. That's for anything in life. That's a scientific method.
Yeah, that wasn't my point. My point was y'all do not know if these things are fully accurate. You were going based off of someone else's words, which would further prove my point that language is whatever you believe.
You go off of
Hold on.
genealogy,
Language
no
is whatever
family.
language is whatever you believe in, whatever the consensus is. That goes for basically
vibratory.
everything.
It's solfeggio. It's hertz and frequency.
Can I say something? If that was true, right, then the rice experiment wouldn't work. You see, the universe. I mean, a lot of people ain't spiritual. Not saying you are.
Comments, man. I don't give a fuck. I said what I said.
Hold
All
on,
y'all in
I'm
the
not-
comments.
I'm not
Take your mad
talking
ass
to you.
somewhere. I said what I said.
Okay, well, the comments. Forget the comments. You know how they is. But to understand the rice experiment, the universe knows what these words mean. If you don't know what the rice experiment is, look it up. It's on YouTube. Okay, so I mean, everything that Shorty just said was really true, because some languages were actually created to cause sorcery upon other people too. I've looked that up, and it was diabolical when I found that shit out. But just know, please know the words that you're actually speaking, okay? Because you could literally be cursing your own self, and that is a fact.
Yeah, exactly. You don't even know it. That's that spirituality. You know?
Words can also bless. You can also speak blessings and healing over yourself. Positive words. In these words, yeah, you can also. So it's two sides of that. It's just be balanced.
Also have multiple meanings. So it's just like I'm trying to figure out like how do y'all determine what's a curse word and what's not? If words have multiple meanings.
Discernment. You know what discernment means?
No, hold on.
You know what
She's
discernment
actually
means?
right. Words can have multiple meanings, but they still only have one definition.
Yep.
So
It's about feeling and when you're talking about manifestation
gotta
of
have
words, it's the
discernment.
feelings. So if they're saying mourning, but you know that's also associated with mourning in terms of crying. So it's about the feeling. So when I'm talking about vibration and you speak from your heart, so you can be saying a whole other language. And a lot of times when I go to other countries and people are speaking their whole other language, and I can understand them because of the energy. If I'm asking for direction, they speaking very fast in their language. I'm like, oh, okay. So, or is this person telling me the truth? So sometimes I mean, do you know about telekinesis, telepathy? So sometimes it's about the feeling and the energy of the word.
Yes.
Right.
And that's how we used to speak to each other before we had a written language in the Lemuria. They used to speak to each other telepathically before we had any concept of time.
That's
or
why
speaking any type of
in
language.
New York we be like multiple phrases of what's good. You got what's good. You got yo what's good. You got what's good. You feel me? Or are you good? You good? Like there's multiple ways of us saying you're good or what's good.
I was talking about earlier.
But guess what? Don't it all mean the same thing though? Don't it
I
all
think-
mean the same thing though?
Reflection, it
Even though it's
knows if
different
they
ways
really
to say it,
care,
don't
or they
it
just
all
trying to
mean
say
the
what's
same thing?
up, or
Right.
like really trying to get to the root of what's going on with you. You good? What's good? Like that's more celebratory. So it's also voice inflection. And I mean, all this is deep. Yeah.
1 second. Hold on 1 second. I
Yeah,
was
she
about to
just
say,
answered her
I'll
own
tell you,
question.
Venus actually made that point earlier in the conversation because not to speak for anybody, because I've been listening, and she's like when she brought up the point of like words can have the meaning, have different meanings or things like that, but it's like through intentions. I'm like, y'all both sides have made the same point. From what I'm seeing, it's just worded differently.
My original point, I was just asking how they know since we have many languages that went extinct. That was my point.
That was your point. Yeah.
Do you speak different languages? Do you speak different languages? Because sometimes you'll see that a lot of like airplane, like it's like certain words or like bibliography, biblioteca, like biblios, like but you also get to see how these words like Latin, Germanic, like the Romance languages, French. There's all these different languages have the same words because the words carry weight in the study.
Yeah, I know what languages are
And they
connected.
derive
I
from
was
the
just
same
saying there
language.
could have been even older languages that we will just never know about because they're extinct and it's not written anywhere online or anything. That's what I was just saying.
Yeah,
The oldest language is the
Wasn't one
Hebrew
older
language.
than that. How
No,
you know?
it wasn't. I just told you before that it was Lemuria. They spoke telepathically. That was the first written language. If you study, you would know. I study. I do the research.
Like for the monks
That's what
that
I'm trying to tell
chant,
you.
they're
I
not
did the
even saying
research.
words,
I
they're
was the
saying
artifact
vibratory
from
words.
the
Like
Hebrew
they
language.
just sit around and chant all day, and they say base root words to manifest what they want, to make movement, action, energy happen in the world. They're not sitting there having sentences. They quote, they chant, it's intonation, incantations. So encantar in español is to sing. So the thing is like when you study word and like you really sit with these words, 'cause, I mean, I don't know, maybe I don't know what you do in terms of your spirituality, but when you craft and when you're doing your woman's, work, like you should see these things. But like that's why the first thing I asked you was, have you studied the Medu Neter, the glyphs, all of these things? And you can see how these words have moved over time. And so we accept it and we say we can actually use this. And so there's a lot of words that we have also introduced and it's widely accepted. And that's why we have the dictionary continues to add words. But the thing is like, if you're part of institution, you become the authority. So, but all this speaking and silos, like that doesn't really do anything. But when you come together as a collective organization, that holds power. And that's why these people are united and organized.
Okay.
We can move on. I'm just saying, whenever I'm talking about the knowledge of word, I try not to pretend to know because that what I'm reading on the page could also not be true. There could have been a language before that that's completely extinct. It was never written down.
That's why you have to read many different sources. You have to read more than one book. You have to read. This is what we call discernment. You know what
An
discernment means?
all-knowing being. I
What
wouldn't
is the
know if there
difference
was
between the
a
lie
language
and the
before the
truth?
first language they claim was written down. I wouldn't know that. I wasn't there. That's what I'm talking
What I'm trying
about.
to tell you, if you have discernment, if you have discernment,
Well, I'm not
okay,
convinced.
Is
and
really
read
eating you
hold
up,
on,
D.
hold on,
I ain't
hold
gonna
on,
hold
hold
you.
on,
Your
hold
Virgo
on,
is really eating you
hold
up.
on. Yeah, hold on one second. If you have discernment and read more than one book, I'm saying multiple books, okay? You have to know the difference between the cap, which is the lie, and the truth, which is a fact. That's where it comes in. My thing is, if you're going to keep telling yourself that, well, how do I know? How do I know? Your ancestors, you ain't reached your spirituality. Your ancestors speak to you. They show you that this stuff is facts.
Also, V, a little sidetrack. Like me and V, we really close like that. But I read her chart, not telling her so much on her chart, but like your Virgo is really eating you up. And I told you, you gotta relax because that Virgo, like one thing about Virgo is they deal with reality. So they're always gonna question a lot of things about reality, right? So one thing that you have to know the unknown, like the things like life is meant to go with a flow, right? You have to take it one step at a time. Like you can't.
I'm the one saying up here you can't know the unknown, and I'm being told, oh, we know the ancient languages. Like,
Well,
okay,
I can.
like,
Well,
what?
I know we have conversations about those on the back end, and we talk about like the hydroglyphs and stuff like that, especially when it came to like the Mesoamericans and the Mayans and them, especially what they was carrying or what type of language they was speaking in that time, and understand that like I was saying like Kamehameha is like a Mayan logistic. I think I used the wrong term here. I think y'all understand what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, linguistics.
Yeah, y'all understand what I'm trying to say. So it's those certain things like understand that we are using ancient words, but we don't even know sometimes what ancient words we could be using, but it really pertains to all the things that have been popping off in like that century. Yeah, you know what I mean? So like
I thought I was in the I'm seeing all these comments. Study, read. I thought I was in the Israelite live. Read.
But I also want to talk about the Book of Torah too. Like the Book of Torah as well can also give you a little bit more information about like how shit really been popping off because you got those 5 books. You got Genesis all it going down to like Proverbs. So with that could give you a little bit in more knowledge about what the hell was going on, who was saying what language was being said and stuff like that. And it's a lot of wordplay that be going on too. So
everybody needs to look into
right. That's why they rewrote the Bible so many times.
Everybody needs to look into
versions.
polysynthetic languages. All them languages she was talking about earlier, Layla was talking about, all them languages polysynthetic. Them love languages, Italian, French, Spanish. But that shit new as hell.
Romantic. I can say that they are romantic. Those,
It's
I
new.
didn't
It's
say
very
love
new.
languages. I said romance.
Oh, same
Roman,
thing.
keyword
Same
being
thing.
Roman, keyword being Roman.
Yeah,
I
but
like
it's
how
all
they
new.
just come in and say everything that y'all just talking about is nothing.
Listen,
We
look
just
up
been
the
talking
term
about
poly. I'm not going against you, sis. I'm just saying, look up the term polysynthetic. This is a rabbit hole. Everybody need to be in. Y'all want to
Synthesize,
talk
like
languages.
photosynthesis. Like it's
No,
meaning
those
made.
Romance
It's
languages
created, made. We as human have that God ability to create and produce.
I don't think anybody needs to look anything up. We already know those languages derived
It's
from
gonna
Latin.
give.
We already know that.
It's gonna
I don't think
expose
we
the
need to look
Native
that up. We already know
Americans
that.
too. With they whole, you know how they get on these panels and talk about. We speak the Noatal language. That is the very first polysynthetic language.
But everyone up here knows the Romance languages derived from another language, so we don't really need to look that up.
Oh no, you need to look into this polysynthetic.
Like I literally just
It's actually good to look into stuff. Okay, wait, y'all.
That you think is
like
ancient.
patriarch, pata, like father. It's literally all this has come from the Medi Narrative. Pata, father, patriarch, like all these words mean something. It is connected. We're not just speaking gibberish here.
Right.
Like I said, look into polysynthetic languages, and it'll teach you more about languages and how a lot of this stuff was created.
documentation about polysynthetic, like
A lot of this stuff, is created in the 1900s. So how was these people supposedly in the 17 to 1800s speaking French if it just got created?
Well, what's up, Brianna? Brianna. Who we got in here? We got 97 people. Father means pattern, mother means matter. True. Read Deuteronomy. Going on. Who else? Who else we got in here? What's up with y'all? What's going on?
We can move on. I was just saying I try to put positive energy or whatever word I speak just in case. Just
I
just in
had
case.
wanted to put this African American post up real quick before I had
Yeah.
to very workout real quick.
You're more brother.
Oh, it's too
Is
big.
love.
But I just
Go
want
ahead.
to say that African American has no race classification and it has no human rights. That's all.
I appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
You shot somewhere in my shit.
Yeah, you've probably seen that one. All right, everybody did good. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate everybody. Keep learning, keep teaching. Each one teach one, and we gonna keep this journey going. Appreciate
Yeah,
you
for
hosting
sure.
me up.
Yeah, no problem. Oh, that. You're. Well, I think we need a music break because that was a little tense. We had some tense exchanges. We got Wusa.
Right. Well, I'm gonna get on out of here, but I thank you for having me. Yeah, no.
No problem. Oh yeah, we got the All right, bet we got it. No problem. No problem. Which one? This might be that's my favorite
I
AI
got a
song.
song request.
Oh no, I'm playing my
Somebody
AI
have
music.
ask someone a question. That's this stuff like this happens. It gets all tenseful. Like it don't even be that serious. Like
Yeah, I'm gonna break the tension real quick.
what is this?
It's the more song. Breaking the tension.
Like an Indian just means that you're a slave. Turn to noble true, I'll either really get saved. Cause you're a moron. In actuality, it's time to claim your real nationality. America is a Morocco, and you ain't even know like your name is Rocco. R.I.P. True, I live with totally miss him. Cause he's the one to get us out the system. You're a
Yeah, we say
Making these. What is going on here?
It's me. I made these songs. Made this one too.
You did not do not tell me you did these songs. You made these songs?
Yes, I made them.
Oh my God. Okay, you got me on that one.
I gave names they first smash hit.
Why won't you take a DNA test? Show us your blood quantum even though it's racist. Why don't you speak your native language? Your ancestors came on slave ships. I'm a 23andMe disciple. Skip Gates is my idol. The test is better than the Bible. Just say you're African before I bite you. You're a white boy, you're a pretending. Your grandma lied about her long silky hair. You're 20% white, so that's what I got in there. 7% Nigerian, but you don't even care. Admit that you're from Africa and stop being scared. Show your results so we can see that you're a spit kid Bantu just like me. You're a white boy, you're pretending. You're a white boy, you're pretending. You're a white boy, you're pretending.
I don't have nobody rapping that day.
You're pretending.
This is the wild boys. This is the beat. You can't see them.
Your grandma lied about her long silky hair. You're 20% white, so that's how we got in there. 7% Nigerian, but you don't even care. Admit that you're from Africa and stop being scared.
This man thought he was Ed Sheeran. Shit.
Show your results so we can see that you're a spit kid until just like me.
Yeah,
Are you gonna really make those songs? Because
yes,
can
I
I just
made.
tell you,
Uh-huh.
like, I hated that I actually liked the lyric. Like, I thought it was really good. So did you really make that? Because I was like,
Yeah, I'll show
he's
you.
a- Yo, wow, but I'm like, I thought they really did that, and he took it, and I'm like, damn, they really going for a Grammy here when he came out with the second one. I'm like, this is really fucking good, but like, damn,
Let me know.
that's
Yeah, no, no.
spirit, man. I just no, I'm bugging right now.
Oh yeah, this is right here. I wrote all of it. You're a wobble, you're pretending. Like yeah, this is me writing it. You won't. Why won't you? Go ahead.
Why you didn't tell us you know how to sing, bro?
Oh, I mean, I think I said that before.
I remember, but man,
Well, whoever it was, it sounds just like them Mexican.
You're a wobble, you're pretending. Yeah, I wrote all this shit. Yeah, Big Chief, no. Yeah, I write a lot of
You
things.
might need to be a producer.
Thinking, is it too good for that to be them? I said, since when they start rhyming? Oh damn!
Yeah, AI.
Wow,
Yeah,
you got
AI.
me.
Yeah, I made an Israelite one. I made one for Big
Yo.
Bang, a Pan African one. Yeah, hold on.
You got self. Hey, you're an African. Why you so embarrassed? Just admit that we were slaves. Why you so embarrassed? Just admit that we were slaves. You got self. Hey, you're an African. You got self. Hey, you're an African. Why you so embarrassed? Just admit that we were slaves. Why you so embarrassed? Just admit that we were slaves. You say you Indian, that's why we attack. Save Africa, we ain't never going back. Staying in the States, cause all we do is cap. Watching with a pinky and an RPG flag. Fuck the Umar, I'm addicted to that snow bunny coach. Super freaky, I didn't let her lick on my said my grandma's a liar and I think this shit is cool. Your granny ain't any, you just look like a fool. You got self, hey, you're an African. You got self, hey, you're an African. Why you so embarrassed? Just admit that we were slaves. Why you so embarrassed? Just admit that we were slaves. I can't even trace my lineage back. Fuck a family tree. Let's put Africa on the map. Just making shit up on your tree. Just go and take the 23 and me so we can finally flee to the motherland of DFP. Where it's the penny and me to sell your ass a fucking pipe dream.
And this is the Israelite one.
We're God's chosen people, the Israelites. 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 You say you're an Indian, that's the tribe of Gad. Why do you want to be American so bad? Because this land is Babylon. Sit down and let me get my Babylon. Israel has our autonomy. I need you to go and read Deuteronomy. Yeah, I will save you from Esau sodomy. Psalms 82:6. We're the God's chosen people, the Israelites. We're God's chosen people, the Israelites. We're God's chosen people, the Israelites. Yo, we're God's chosen people, the Israelites. We're God's chosen people, the Israelites. We're God's chosen people, the Israelites. Yo, you say you're Seminole, you're the tribe of Reuben. The Pharaoh had us making bust down. We came from slaves, but fuck our Hamite. Kicked us out of Israel and took our land rights home. Don't worry, because God was coming back. And gathering his soldiers to put Esau on his back. Running up on him and yeah, we holding him. Turn your life down to y'all because we're the chosen one. Yeah, we're God's chosen people.
And then I made a hotel one. Yeah.
Where Hotep means peace, activating the third eye in me. She made us where everything came from. We were more than just some slaves, bruh. I'm from to where Hotep means peace. Activating the third eye in me. Kemet is where everything came from. And we were more than just some slaves, bruh. Must start off saying the black woman is God. Without her, we will never beat the odds. Dr. Ben said heaven's inside a womb. When I die, you can bury me inside a womb. Got her legs open like she was new. Let our shackles meet inside a room. Flow into her rhythms, I ain't losing no step. Just trying to be your peace, Hotep. I'm killing to where Hotep is peace. Activating the third eye in me. Kemet is where everything came from. We were more than just some slaves, bruh. I'm killing to where Hotep is peace. Activating the third eye in me. Kemet is where everything came from. And we were more than just some slaves, bruh. And Hotep is the father of every science. Your body is your hardware, upgrade your compliance. You do that by opening your kundalini. You feel me? White validation, that's that kundalini. Worshiping white daddy, just don't make me pull up on Jesus. I'ma turn this into Jesus pieces. They gon' have to put them together like Osiris, causing terrorism on a Christian in the name of ISIS. I'm killing to where Hotep is peace.
That's about it. Yeah, I was about to say, that's like.
Oh my God, I'm so glad it was you that created those. That they gonna take that and actually like use it, and they're not that talented. I should have. That's wild.
Oh, yeah. Someone said, yeah, I'm a. Yeah, it's fire. You said they fire. Appreciate that. Yeah, I was like, yo, I was like, hold on. I was kind of snapping on that last. I was like, damn, I just wrote like a quintuple entendre, like type shit. You know?
Spotify.
I will. Yeah, I'm about to drop all. I'm just about to have a parody album, AI parody album, making fun of everybody.
Now I'm jacking that.
Oh yeah, they really thought like folks was like. I was like, let me drop it. I was like, I was trying to like wait and see like when I was gonna let what's up, look, love. I was about to say, I was like, when should I tell people I made this shit? I was gonna wait.
Face reveal, like seriously. Oh my
Everybody,
God.
and they can't believe it. You're wobble, you're pretending.
Country elements. It was sound. I was like, damn, it's giving Tex-Mex.
Oh, I got a song for Big Bag. Oh yeah, I forgot to play that one. Oh, this one. This is one of the Big Bag ones, one of my favorites too.
You know I need a big snack, and you know it's a Big Mac, cause I'm a big bag, big bag. You know I can't see my feet, cause I ate all the bison meat. I sound like Darth Vader when I breathe. I'm just a little hefty, can't you see? Cause I'm a big bag, big bag. You know I need a big snack, and you know it's a Big Mac. Cause I'm a big bag, big bag. Only time I leave the reservation is when I make my reservations. I'ma eat it all with the purpose preservations. Eat it for two, just to show my dedication. Cause I'm a big bag, big bag. You know I need a big snack, and you know it's a Big Mac. Cause I'm a big bag, big. Time I leave the reservation is when I make my reservations. I'ma eat it all with the focus preservation. Eat it for two just to show my dedication. Cause I'm a big bag, big bag. You know I need a big snack, and you know it's a Big Mac. Cause I'm a big bag, big. back big. Only time I leave the reservation is when I make my reservations. I'ma eat it all. What the fuck is preservations? Eating for two just to show my dedication. Cause I'm a big bag, big bag.
Rap song next.
What type of rap? What you want?
Make some drill drill music.
Native drill. Oh. I was trying to see what I could do. Pop out on the reservation. Got the tomahawks out. That just sound like I'm gonna come up with something. Only time I leave the reservation is when I make my reservations. I'm gonna eat it all with the fucking preservations. Eating for two just to show my dedication. Cause I'm a big bag, big bag.
The drill song in the what's that accent they all have? They all have the same accent, even though they're from different. What's that accent thing? The Hollywood accent, Hollywood native accent.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna come up with something. I'm always coming up with things on the fly. It only take I wrote these songs in like probably like 30 seconds. Excuse me.
Oh way, come on.
I wrote all these songs in like 30 seconds.
Trying to make some rap songs. Someone tried to do like a remix of what's that one song? A Soldier Boy song. I think it was so bad.
I was trying to
make like a Spanish accent or something.
But I was trying to make a remix to Return of the Mac for Big Bag. Return of the Mac. Come on.
Easy.
Yeah.
Sidetrack. Oh, what's a good choice to eat at the moment to order food?
All I eat is soul food and Chinese food. Not gonna lie. That's all I eat. Yeah. I heard Caribbean food's good, but I never had none. So.
At 11, what's good to eat at 11:46 at night?
I don't know what that is. You in New York, right? Get whatever New Yorkers eat, whatever that chopped cheese thingy is.
I don't even like eating sandwiches like that.
That's all you eat for real.
That big sandwich, whatever that is, y'all be eating over there. I don't know what y'all eat.
Somebody wants, but somebody's actually you gotta make a drill native, trap native song.
Yes, that's what I need to hear. Don't y'all be eating African food in New York?
Girl, don't ask me.
Say, girl, don't ask me.
I be eating fufu and agusi in New York.
I don't know who be doing that shit. It ain't me, my people.
Yeah, about to start wrapping it live up. But before we get out of here, we got the summer hit of our natives, of the native people in the Pan African. It's a mix of that song is actually like a mix of native and Pan African talking points. But we shall end it here with the banger of the summer.
Pretending you're a wild, oh, you're pretending. You're a wild, oh, you're pretending. You're a wild, oh, you're pretending. Why won't you take a DNA test? Show us your blood quantum, even though it's racist. Why don't you speak your native language? Your ancestors came on slave ships. I'm a 23andMe disciple. Skip Gates is my idol. The test is better than the Bible. Just say you're African before I bite you. You're a wild.
All right, y'all. Peace.
You're a wild, pretending. You're a wild, pretending. Your grandma lied about her long silky hair. You're 20% white, so that's all I got in there. 7% Nigerian, but you don't even care. Admit that you're from Africa and stop being scared. Show your results so we can see that you're a spit kid Bantu just like me. You're a